Subscribe now at crave.ca.
Bashaw Concrete Products. From concrete and septic tanks to blocks, precast water pads, jersey barriers, and aggregates. Farmers, contractors, homeowners. Plan your next project at BashawConcrete.com. Family owned. Over 60 years pouring. Bashaw Concrete Products. Once again, start here. BashawConcrete.com.
Every morning, you look in the mirror and see less of yourself. Hair loss can feel like losing a part of who you are.
But it doesn't have to be that way. Hi, I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. At Advanced Hair and Skin Surgery, we understand the pain of hair loss. Our advanced hair restoration solutions won't just bring back your hair. They'll help you face the mirror with confidence.
Good morning, you sexy beast.
Visit drvanceelliott.com today because it's time to be the man you remember.
Want sports talk on the go?
You can listen to 1440 on the AM dial or stream us on your mobile device through apps like Radio Player, iHeart, and Stingray Music.
Edmonton sports fans,
turn to Sports 1440.
1440. Sports 1440. Stingray radio station. CKJR. Broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray Music app and listen wherever you go.
Have your sports curiosity cured.
By Southern, down low to McKenzie, across from Miroslav Holinka at the blue line, time ticking away on the power play. There's McKenzie, one-timer, scores! Don't it feel good? Ethan McKenzie is the hero, and Edmonton takes game 2 by a 4-3 score.
A veteran of the sports reporting game for over 25 years.
Get it in the Boozer, back for Saar, ahead, Boozer, that ball deflected, and stolen by Mullins. Caravan, 2 seconds, Mullins tosses it up. Ah! It's good! We're pulling 3! UConn goes in front!
Breaking down Edmonton's favorite teams.
At the other end, a bit of a change-up and an easy save. Made on Connor English. That little spin on it. Here's Hyman. Roslovic Roslovic's 20th. Edmonton extends to a 2-0 lead.
40 and the Kevin Karius Show.
All right, here we go for Soul 635, Monday, March the 30th. Man, another month just coming and going just like that. We're into April here in a few days. Hey, good morning. Welcome to the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440 AM radio, presented by Sports Select on your morning drive, wherever you're heading out on a Monday morning. So glad you can spend some time with us here on 1440. You can also watch us as well on YouTube at Sports 1440 AM. Drop us a like, a subscription. We would really appreciate that. We're also on X. We are on Facebook, even Instagram and Twitch. As always, we are streaming on iHeartRadio, the TuneIn app, and even on sports1440.ca. And if you miss any part of any show, really, you can find it where all the podcasts hang out on Apple, Spotify, Google, even Amazon. Please subscribe. It's free. Select the auto download. You'll never miss a second of any show. Yeah, so glad you're with us here on a Monday morning. And oh, was it a busy week in sports? Holy smokes. So many things going on. The Oilers with the big victory Saturday afternoon at Rogers Place, 4-2 over the Anaheim Ducks. They got Seattle coming in tomorrow. Then they got Chicago on Thursday. And then they got the Vegas Golden Knights on Saturday with a new head coach, John Tortorella, replacing Bruce Cassidy. Yesterday, the Golden Knights are taking on Vancouver tonight. So lots and lots of things going on as we welcome in our co-host on Mondays and Fridays. Hey, but we're off this Friday for Good Friday. Eddie Steele, Grey Cup champion from 2015, all-decade team for the Double E and the University of Manitoba Bisons as well. Good morning, Eddie. How was the weekend, big fella?
KK, it was a great weekend, man. Great weekend. How about yourself?
What'd you get up to?
Well, Saturday I was down at the Home and Garden Show with our boy Richie and Brad.
So how was it?
It was good, man.
Yeah.
They had a really nice booth and nice setup. It was really clean, proper. A lot of foot traffic, a lot of action
there?
out there.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was to come and check out their setup or me. I don't know, Kevin.
It was their setup, Eddie. Let's be honest. Did you sign a few autographs?
Yeah, signed some autographs, took some
How
photos.
many, like
and
one or two or
yeah,
three?
it was a
couple.
It was nothing big, but it was just
Good
to
for
drum
you.
up some
Yeah.
interest and foot traffic in the booth, and
Yeah.
had the Grey Cup ring out there, so
Good for
it
you.
was awesome.
Yeah, it was good. And then, the combine was going on at the Commonwealth. And
Mhm.
we had a lot of people in town for that, and it's a good weekend for the CFL because anytime you can talk CFL in it's spring, but the dead of winter almost. That's how it feels like with the weather we've been having here anyway.
Jeez.
But yeah, it's brutal again. But hey, it's going to get better by the end of the week. But combine, and it's a chance for some young players to show their stuff.
It is, and it looks like some kids put on a good performance, good
Yep.
show.
Yep.
The CFL is going to CFL though, Kevin.
Yep.
And of course, they're just going to trip over themselves. And one thing that I constantly saw online was lack of accessibility to be able to watch the combine. You have all these nice clips and highlights that you're putting out. Let people see it. Put it on YouTube. Get eyeballs on the product.
Yep.
That's how you generate interest. But the CFL will continue to CFL in certain ways.
Why?
Good question.
Why?
It's so easy. It's so easy.
It's simple.
And
Yeah.
people in every different province across Canada would tune in. I'm not saying in droves, but
Mhm.
you look online and you have people complaining from Montreal to BC, wherever the CFL markets are.
Yeah.
Why can't we watch this? Why can't we see this? You're putting out clips. Why is there no accessibility there?
I don't have the answer. I mean, we've been talking about how the league promotes itself for many years,
Mhm.
or lack of promotion, I guess you could say. That's where the league is at, and it's got to be better.
And
You know?
this is like such easy stuff, KK?
Yeah. Well,
In the old
technically
production world that you come from, like this
Yeah.
is kind of
and
bare
maybe
minimum.
the staffing isn't as the numbers aren't there. Maybe they need a bigger staff. They have to look at it differently, how they approach things. So I don't know. I don't have an answer for you too, Eddie. And I mean, I was talking about that with some guys on the weekend, and they would want to see more, but it just doesn't.
In every coach, GM, head coach, but then positional coaches or coordinators who have been head coaches, all the familiar faces, they're all walking around. It's exactly, if you watch the NFL combine, they'll show a quick close up of head coaches and stuff sitting in the stands.
Yeah.
You can do this exact same thing. You can make it so personal.
Don't have an answer. March Madness, wacky yesterday. Duke losing on a buzzer
Gee
beater.
whiz, KK.
Bad turnover and all.
I'm done. I
You're-
picked Duke to win it.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
a
toast.
lot of people's brackets got busted yesterday. So now we've got UConn won 73-72. So it's going to be UConn in Illinois, Arizona, and Michigan. It's almost like that Arizona-Michigan game. People are saying, well, that's almost the final here. Having said that, I mean, Illinois is, they took down Houston, so,
Yep.
I mean, and UConn, that finish was wild. And that's just,
We're
management,
madness.
like, it's just nervous kids.
It
You
is.
make mistakes. and
That
that's what it
turnover
is.
shouldn't have
Yes.
happened at the end.
All he's got to do is hang on to the ball,
Yeah.
right? And then basically he's going to get fouled.
Exactly.
And then
Get
you go to the
fouled,
line.
or worst case, you take the time count in the backcourt, but
Hey.
yet you're still running the clock down, and they're
Yeah.
going to get it with not much time.
No.
They have to chuck one up still.
Exactly. So that was a tough one. That was a really tough one. We had Duke's intro, Ethan McKenzie scoring the overtime winner for Oil Kings. Man, they needed that win after losing game 1 to the Saskatoon Blades. So they win yesterday 4-3 in overtime. So now they go to Saskatoon for games 3 and 4. That's tomorrow and Wednesday, tied at 1. So they need it. I mean, you can't go down 2-0. So
Good stuff.
they really needed that one. The Raptors had that 31-0 run. Unbelievable over Duke's Orlando Magic, 139-87. Duke picked Orlando to finish in the top 4. Come on. Now.
I was that run. I was thinking of Fanny when I was watching the highlights
really?
of that run. Yeah, it was.
Yeah. And the Blue Jays, great weekend. It's the Athletics and their team that's, not quite ready for prime time. The Athletics have 5-6 guys in their batting order that are good. and then the bottom 3 are terrible, and their pitching isn't good either. So Jays 3-0 on the year, have 50 strikeouts. 50 strikeouts.
It's wild.
In the 3 games. Eric Lauer was really good yesterday. So you know, they got a good schedule here.
That's a MLB record. 50, I think,
in 3
through
games.
your first 3.
Yeah. So I mean, their pitching staff is humming along. Their hitters are banging the ball out.
So going back to the pitching staff, isn't it funny how we were talking about the cause of concern or level of concern?
Well,
with this, because the starters, the people who are injured,
yeah,
but yet their pitching
so
comes
now,
through.
Yeah, we'll see what Cody Ponce does here, and then you got Max Scherzer. But Lauer was really good last year. He saved the staff in a lot of in the sense that when he came in last year, they needed someone to just calm things down, and he did. So, full marks to the Jays, and we'll see if they can continue.
Ooh, you had to fight that out, Yankee fan.
Well,
Dookie, full marks.
No, I like the Jays.
I know, but you're Yanks too, huh? 3-0. You're loving that, yeah.
And then just watching, we got TSN on in the studios here, and Gary Woodland won the golf tournament on the PGA. Very emotional.
He was,
and this is a guy that's gone through a lot.
Pretty raw.
Gone through a lot. Hey, let's welcome in the Duke of Delburne, 7:10 in Edmonton. Duke comes in this morning, Eddie, and he just looks at me and he goes, "Oh, am I glad? Am I glad the month of March is almost over?"
Do tell, Duke.
It's been a grind, Eddie.
Let's hear it. I love it.
Every weekend I've had something going on. I've been driving out of town every weekend, back to Delburne 3 different times. Way too many beers consumed, hanging out with. Listen, it's all in the spirit of a good time. Some hockey tournaments, seeing some good friends, getting physical activity, of course, very important. But this weekend, the annual Rockets tournament in Delburne, the year-end beer league, you sign up, you get drafted to a team. There are 5 groups this year. We played 3 games on Saturday, 4:30, 9, and 10:30. And the 10:30 game didn't matter. We already knew what the finals were going to be the next day. Like, the results were inconsequential. We played it anyway. And needless to say, I'm pretty tired, very sore. I had some lace bite on the top of my left foot by the time our 3rd game was over Saturday night. So listen, I'm feeling it, but you got to bounce back and show up.
Lace bite. That's
a
thing.
Oh yeah.
Man.
And it might be the worst.
So I think I had that in one of our critter game, man.
No,
Eddie, you're not working hard enough out there.
I had.
I'm just kidding.
You want to get lace bite? World's longest hockey game.
I couldn't even imagine.
So where does it get raw? Like,
so it's
right on the top of your foot,
your front tendon. So your tendon that goes down and gets inflamed.
Oh, okay.
You just can't.
And so then every time you're leaning to take a stride, it's just pressing up against the back of your tongue.
Okay.
Yeah, the pain is terrible. We ended up losing in the B final, which was a little bit of a blessing in disguise because whatever final you win at the Rockets is the size of bottle that your team gets. And it's kind of like an unwritten rule, like nobody can leave until your team's bottle is empty. By losing, we didn't get one. So we didn't have to have any more drinks on Sunday. And we could just, each have one more beer to count the weekend, finish off the flat we had on the middle table, and all part our separate ways. If you win the A final, you get a Texas Mickey.
Oh, that's nice.
There's a lot of people, and myself included, in the past, you take Monday off after the Rockets tournament for good reason.
And then you lift it like a trophy too.
Oh yeah. I've been playing this tournament for, how old am I now? 31, like 13 years. I've won the A final once.
Really?
Yeah. And as Eddie says, I was out there on center ice Sunday afternoon, Delburne Agriplex, not a soul in the building. Just touting the Texas Mickey over my head, waving to the crowd, blowing some kisses out to the fans. Yeah.
What time did you get home then?
Because we played at 2. I was out of the rink by like 5 or I was home just after 7 because I stopped and ready to get a bite to eat, and conveniently enough, sat down waiting for my donair to get cooked at my favorite spot in Red Deer. And I was like, oh, this basketball game's coming down to the wire. Pull it up on my phone and watch the last few minutes of UConn and Duke to see the obviously the buzzer beater just stunning 19-point comeback.
19-point comeback.
17 in the second half. I believe the largest comeback against a number 1 seed in the history of the tournament.
King of Fort Nasty texts in 833-401-1440. Good morning, KK, Duke, Fenny, and Eddie. The Duke went to check out the combine. He was quite disappointed to see it wasn't a 96-20 STS.
That's a little rich for my blood. We're more of a
What kind of call? What is that?
Oh,
Is that a John Deere?
yeah, the throwback. We're running some nice 7720s. Good machines.
Does Pops ever trade in and trade up?
Not we've had the same. We bought a couple older New Holland combines a few years ago, and they just keep lighting on fire, so we don't use them anymore.
So there's two little towns in southeastern Saskatchewan, Eddie, Arcola and Kisby, the names of the towns. And they put together a hockey team, and they're called the Arcola Kisby Combines. You know, farming country.
Of course.
But it's because they combined the two teams, not the combine.
Yeah, that's a good wordplay.
go.
Good wordplay. Arcola, isn't that's just on the highway, isn't it? I'm familiar with Arcola.
Arcola's down
I think I've
kind
been
of by
down.
Estevan area.
Yeah. I've been down there for an
Yeah.
appearance once, I
Yeah.
remember.
When you were playing for the Riders?
Yeah. At a school.
probably.
KK, are there any texts in yet that
like
it's
what?
7:15 and we haven't even talked Oilers yet?
We did. I said Oilers, they won on Saturday.
Yeah, but we didn't bust it down yet,
Well,
man.
I mean,
Didn't
it's
bust
a
it
couple
down.
days.
Big
Victoria,
win.
big win for the Oilers.
Big
Pod
win.
with a couple of nice passes. The race in both conferences is nuts. Vegas made a move. Wow, such a busy weekend of sports. The Oilers are going to run the table here.
That Vegas move is insane. What
It
do you
really
think of
is.
that?
Well, they're trying to be like what they did with Larry Robinson, hiring Larry in New Jersey 20 years ago or whatever it was.
But again, what do you think of that?
It makes no sense to me.
Yeah, that's where I'm at too.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Like right before the play, 7 games left.
Yeah.
Like, where's you just throw all the culture you had for the year, everything out the window.
Wow.
How do you even just establish
not like-
accountability as the new coach?
Like in the last how many years he's been coaching, John Tortorella's like his winning percentage is like 450 or
Yeah,
something.
he's mid.
Yeah.
And Cassidy's record is not.
Sure.
He's good. He's good. He's
Yeah.
just tough year this year.
No, I mean, well, you know, they do any like they in Vegas, they'll go after any player. Like they make splashes, and that's what they do. So coming up on the big program, our main man, Ellen Mitchell, will check in right after the break. You hear him daily from 12 to 2 with the lowdown. Mark Spectre at 8 bells. We got Michael Tracos at 9:20 from the Hockey News. Mark Anderson from the Associated Press covers the Vegas Golden Knights at 10 o'clock. And then our old buddy Jensen Lewis by the books on V's and Live. One of the best baseball commentators going. Jensen will be by with us at about 10:20. Text 833-401-1440. We'll get to those as the morning progresses. It's the Kevin Karius Show with Eddie Steele, Duke of Delburne, and Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM radio. Presented by Sports Select. We're streaming as well on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
Whether it's a house, a gas station, an apartment complex, or any new building going up above ground, the work always starts below ground. And that's where you'll find GS Construction. GS Construction ensures the first step, relocating utilities, installing new ones, and building the underground systems, is taken to make progress possible. But the work can't start without you. GS Construction is currently on the lookout for experienced top men, pipe layers, and operators. To apply, visit gsconstruction.ca.
It's Truck Month at Wolf GMC Buick, and we know trucks. And we have the best deals of the year right now. Some have 0% for 4 years. We have 0% for 6 years. That's on our #1 selling GMC Sierra half-ton crew cab, or the Elevation, the AT4, or Denali. Yep, 0% for 72 months. And Costco members get an extra discount on some of our SUVs. Pop in today and drive away smiling. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
One app, triple the action. Play Alberta is proof that good things do come in threes. Whether you're into playing any of our exciting casino games, betting on your favorite professional sports teams from around the world, or buying into Canada's biggest lotteries, Play Alberta is the province's only app to do it all. Download today and discover a new way to play.
Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
At Leading Edge Physiotherapy, healing doesn't have to feel heavy, because in our SwimX aquatic therapy pools, you literally float your way to recovery. Whether you're dealing with arthritis, back pain, joint injuries, post-surgical rehab, chronic pain, balance issues, mobility challenges, or just feeling a little creaky, warm water and gentle resistance have your back. your knees, and your hips. Trusted by pro sports teams and rehab hospitals, our SwimX pools help you move sooner, hurt less, and recover faster. So take the load off. Let the water do the work. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
For the first time in 66 years, Golden Bears and Pandas hockey are on the move. During the 2026-27 Canada West season, two of the most successful hockey programs in U Sports history will call Silent Ice Center in Nisku their temporary home. The Golden Bears and Pandas are excited to connect with the South Edmonton community and welcome new fans to experience the tradition and excitement of U of A hockey. Same tradition, new temporary home. Golden Bears and Pandas hockey at Silent Ice Center for the 26-27 season.
This is Andrew Walker, host of the postgame show on Sports 1440. After every hockey game this season, tune in and chime in as we talk about the game. It's all sponsored by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Don't get left in the cold. Visit legacyheating.ca.
This ad is presented by the United Conservative Caucus. The new Alberta-Ottawa energy deal will significantly expand Alberta's oil and gas production and create thousands of jobs, thanks to the leadership of Alberta's United Conservative MLAs. The consumer carbon tax is gone, the oil and gas production cap is eliminated, and the net zero electricity regulations are over. Let's keep Alberta strong and free. Visit unitedconservativecaucus.ca/surveys.
Just in time for the morning skate. This is the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program 721 in Edmonton. I forgot to mention that Eddie posted a picture on Twitter on the weekend. Was that yesterday?
Yeah, that was yesterday.
We put our heads on who Bush and
Buddy did that. I'm not gifted enough to do that.
Yeah, Bush and I have the same body.
I thought so, man. That's what you look.
Just ripped.
Yeah, jogging around the hood.
Little six-pack going.
That's a sneaky bod, KK.
Time now for the Puck Report. Brought to you by Fountain Tire. At Fountain Tire, we focus on one thing and one thing only. It is your vehicle. From tires and wheels to oil changes, vehicle repairs, we got you covered. Visit fountaintire.com to book your appointment today as we welcome in Alan Mitchell. You hear him daily here with the lowdown, 12 to 2 on Sports 1440. Good morning, Tide.
How are you?
Good. How was the weekend, big fella?
Oh, it's good. I enjoyed it. I watched a little of the baseball. It's a fun game. You should get into it, Karius. Good game.
Well, we had Donnie P in our National League draft there, Tide, on Saturday.
How did it go? He showed me his roster. Man, he has all the hitting, but his pitching's going to be a problem.
Yeah, he's going to be in trouble. But he's come out of the gates pretty quickly here, but I can see him faltering soon. How's that sound?
Yeah. Now, who's the big gunner? Because it was you, and then you told me you fell off a little bit last year.
Yeah, well, I'll be honest, and it's my own fault, but I've paid more attention to our American League draft.
Right.
And that's my own fault.
So it's not that nobody will return your calls or respond to your text because you've fleeced them so badly over the years.
Well,
is that correct?
I spent $55 on Juan Soto, Tide.
That's just a good investment. He is like a rock.
Well, he's a 40-40 guy. It's
Man,
a lot of cash for one guy.
I love him. He's exactly the kind of guy I like because he walks a lot. He does strike out, but he walks a lot. And man, when he turns on a ball, it is so sweet.
Yep. So you watch the Oilers game Saturday afternoon, Tide. I mean, this is 3 in a row now, and they got a couple of the teams this week coming into Edmonton where they can stack some more wins together here, and it's sort of peaking at the right time here, I guess you could call it.
Yeah, no, the Oilers are the funniest team, the funniest really good team I think I've ever seen. Their ceiling and their floor is so wide they're like a rock and roll band that plays so well, and you just love them so much, and then they just get really loose and they lose the plot, and they call it jazz or like Spinal Tap, and I don't have an answer as to why. I don't. But when they're playing a repeatable game, and you could see it, man, they were moving. They contested every play. I was one of the few times this year where I didn't know which line was on the ice, because there's some new guys, but also everybody's skating at such a high level. Their pace, I haven't looked at the numbers, but their pace and foot speed with this particular lineup looks exceptional. Yeah. And the new McDavid line, it's like, oh my God, that Podkolzin pass to Savoy for the goal. Yeah. Who is that? Like, that is a super skilled pass by Vasily Podkolzin, who, by the way, was like a number 10 overall pick, but he's a big guy and he's physical, and you don't assume he's going to be able to make that kind of finesse move. Gorgeous play. I was like, that was a sit up and notice kind of moment for Podkolzin for me, just because it was a high skill, and I didn't expect that. I mean, Nude, sure, but Podkolzin, that was a real revelation.
Yeah, I don't know who this Podkolzin guy is since the Olympic break, because he seems to be a completely different player, playing with extreme confidence. You talk about the skill he's bringing, the speed. A couple of weeks ago that he showed the speed bursts. Now it's quite something to see his game evolve from just a hardworking grinder who's somewhat physical to the player that he's at now. Halo Tide?
It's true. And he's also like, he's the first guy to the battle. There's no hesitation with him. And that is sometimes a problem for the Oilers. But he'll beat you to the chase in terms of the physicality. He hits on like a truck. He's exactly the kind of player Oiler fans love, and for good reason. He's extremely physical, but he has good enough hands to play on a skill line. Look, the Vancouver Canucks have more problems than Carter has liver pills. I don't want to pile on or anything, but they gave up an exceptional player for not a lot. Vasily Podkolzin is real, and the Oilers are going to reap benefits because he's still not expensive, and he's going to be around for a long time. And he's mid-20s, or not even that yet. And he's a good hockey player playing his confident best, and really he has the skill to back it up.
Alan Mitchell with us on the Kevin Karius Show with Eddie Steele on Sports 1440. You've been talking about Matt Savoy. We've been talking about Matt Savoy for a long time here now in the last little bit. Another goal for him on Saturday. He played 22 and a half minutes, Tied. I mean, this guy is getting better and better, it seems, every game.
Well, I know it's, Chris Knobloch's had some troubles this year, but I remember at the beginning of the year, he was playing he had Savoy on a depth line, and he said, don't worry about the offense, it'll come. He just wanted him to get comfortable and maybe use him as a penalty killer, which he has done. And so Savoy was, midway through the season, you're looking at his numbers and they're a little bit disappointing. But now, I mean, he's on the score sheet most nights now. And it just gives, I wrote an article in The Athletic today about, what is this team going to do? They have McDavid with Nuge and Hyman at the ready, but now Podkolzin and Savoy. And Savoy is he's been on the ice for a lot of goals over the last 7 games with McDavid at 5-on-5. And I have a feeling he's there to stay. We'll see. But, you could move Hyman back onto the line or whatever you'd want to do when Draisaitl gets back. But Savoy is so good at anticipating. He's really good forechecking. He's an excellent passer, and increasingly he's been able to get that shot through. And it's not like it's a blistering, Bobby Hull shot, but it's accurate. And he finds, he's got a pretty good, sights on his cannon there. And also he scores goals from in close, which is always a higher danger situation. I really like his game, and not too many weeks ago, people were bemoaning the Ryan McLeod trade and saying the Oilers didn't get very much back. I suspect those voices have calmed down since then.
I mean, that was a trade both teams, benefited. McLeod's playing well in Buffalo, and Savoy is going to be here a long time, and he's going to be a top 6 guy. McLeod probably was never going to be in a top 6 role here, so I think it benefited both teams. Eddie?
Yep. It's pretty hard to move up when it's Draisaitl and McDavid ahead of you.
You got Nuge too, So
that ceiling is low when you have those players. Hey, Tide, over his last 7 starts, Connor Ingram is 4-2 with 1 exit due to injury when he got bonked in the noggin. Yesterday, he put up a .935. Safe to say that at least for the number 1 goaltending position, the Oilers are rolling into a pretty good spot here as the playoffs are looming.
Yeah, it's true. When the Oilers got Ingram, somebody in the hockey industry just reached out and said, Bowman made a good move today, and I, you don't think anything of it, but it was from the other side, not the media side. So I thought, okay, well that's pretty good news. But it's one thing to say it, and then it's another thing to do it. And I still have hopes for Tristan Jarry, and I hope they bring him along. But this is what you needed to do, was make sure that Connor Ingram could play well in high pressure situations. And I think playing goal for Edmonton is one of the most high pressure situations in sports. So he's been able to do it. He's had his struggles, but he's recovered from them. And he still looks like the calmest guy in net I've seen since maybe Cam Talbot. I don't know. There's a lot of trauma for Oiler fans, because there was Mike Smith, who was, I don't know, I don't think I've ever seen a goalie. Maybe Gary Smith played like Mike Smith, but he was very rangy. They had Koskinen, whose glove wasn't great. We can go through the last few years and what it looked like with Jack Campbell and Stuart Skinner. But I don't really like the results that Ingram is delivering, but I like the way he looks. He looks very calm and confident, and I think that's important. The Oilers are also playing better. Let's give them credit. They're playing better in front of him. But I like Ingram because he looks calm and confident, and it's been a while for Oilers fans to have that in net.
Alan Mitchell with us on Sports 1440. Evan Bouchard, a couple more points on Saturday. Tied. I think he's got, he's at 86 right now. A slim chance to crack 100, which would be absolutely incredible. But, I mean, he's coming into his own again, and everyone talks about how he performs in the playoffs. Well, he's on that level right now, I think.
He's it's funny because he starts slowly, and that's something that people are going to have to deal with, or he's going to have to improve. And I do think he cost himself the Norris with his October-November play. But when you watch this guy, and we always give credit to McDavid and Draisaitl, and of course we should. But this is a player who can make plays that nobody else even thinks of. And, we can talk about where he is in the pecking order and why he didn't make Team Canada and all of those things. But with the puck on his stick, he patrols the blue line as well as anybody I can remember. I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody, but on the power play or even at 5-on-5, when the puck zips back there, he gets it, and then he cradles it, and then he makes a good decision with it. And those are vital parts of a game, power play or 5-on-5. And he's able to get his shot through, and he's maturing as a player too. I think that this year was a good thing for him, because there was a period where there was a lot of pressure on him, and he was making mistakes that were costing the team, and he built himself back out of that, and I think when you play the style that Evan Bouchard plays, that's always going to be out there. The opportunity to fail and be criticized is going to be out there. But I was impressed the way he handled it, and I've always been a fan, but I'm a real fan of not just his skill, but his maturation as a player. He's not a guy who's going to falter because he's losing confidence. He's supremely confident, and you have to be when you play his style.
Yeah. Todd, I want to shift gears real quick back to some baseball here. Quite a tale of two different tapes when you look at Bo Bichette and his success versus his former team's success, eh?
Yeah, I feel bad for Bo Bichette. I mean, I know he's making a lot of money, but he's doing the worst thing possible. He's playing in New York out of position. He'd never played third base before. And he came up, 100 times this weekend with a chance to make a difference for the Mets, and he didn't do it at all. And from a sports point of view, he went for the money. I get that. I understand it. But from a pure baseball point of view, the Blue Jays were kind of playing him out of position when he was in Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
They had better options. Their second baseman was a better shortstop than Bichette. So, he's a guy who, and eventually New York will figure it out. But you'd almost want to move him back down the defensive spectrum to second base, not even shortstop, and then play him there. And he's eventually going to be a first baseman. His bat will come around, but his speed is gone. And the Mets have been Metsing since I was a kid, since they traded Tom Seaver in like 1977. So this is an investment they made on a third baseman with a big bat and who could impact the middle of the lineup. And I think what they eventually have is a second baseman who's probably best as your number 5, 6, maybe your 2 if he can get on base as much. But his speed is gone, and they still don't have a third baseman in New York.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you mentioned the Miracle Mets in '69 there. Holy smokes, they had a pretty good pitching staff, didn't they?
Yeah, they traded it all away, though. I mean, how can you have Tom Seaver and Nolan Ryan and trade them both away? What in the hell do the Mets think they're doing? And they've done it all the time. They always do it.
Yeah.
The Mets are I was a Expos fan when they were a team, so I never liked the Mets. But they always have so many talented players, and they just trade them away. They're like opposite Yankees.
Who else did they have tied? They had Seaver, Nolan Ryan, Jerry Kuzman, I think.
Jerry Kuzman, Gary Gentry was on that team. Cal Kuntz, Tug McGraw was a reliever.
McGraw, yeah.
On that team, and they had a guy named Jim McAndrew. I never knew how to pronounce his name until later, because all I saw was the baseball cards out in Saskatchewan. We didn't know how to pronounce anything but Reggie Cleveland's name, So yeah, but I loved watching those Mets. They were they traded for Willie Mays in 1973, and he played center field at like 40. Unbelievable. He was such a great athlete. He wasn't a great center fielder, but the fact that he could play center field is nuts.
Who'd they beat in the series? Baltimore?
Yeah, it was Baltimore. The Orioles won in 1970, I believe. They won the next year against Cincinnati. They had that great pitching staff of Jim Palmer, Dave McNally, Pat Dobson, and Mike Cuellar, who was a screwball pitcher.
Jim Palmer,
not a screwball like us, but a screwball pitcher.
Jim Palmer, when you see him doing the games, he looks like he's still like 25 years old.
It irritates the hell out of me. It was like Dick Clark, same thing. Like I'm out here looking like the actual picture of the Dorian Gray, and these cats are 90 and still looking good.
What do you got cooking on the show today, Tide?
We have Rachel Krychak coming up at 12:40. We're going to ask about Vegas Golden Knights are like the mob of the NHL. They don't care. They'll cut you. They'll take you to the river and throw you over. They don't care, man. So we'll talk about that, and we'll talk about these Oilers and how their game has, since the Florida games, they've turned that damn switch again, and they're playing a really repeatable, effective game, and they're fun to watch again. And there was a time this year where they were not, but right now they are.
Well, and it's a different, like with Leon out, it's, the philosophy's changed a little bit. Go ahead.
I just have to say, if they do switch this flick this flick this switch, as KK says, it's gonna be kind of infuriating to a degree, because wow, you see the efforts rolled out, and I know the season's long, but then to see how they can just turn it on, play a tight defensive strong game last 10 of the season into the playoffs, that'll be something, man. That make me shake my head.
It's true though, but like I do think that there's such a thing as like teams just kind of as their mindset wanders or wavers a little, and I think it's 3 long seasons in a row for this team, and I can tell within the first 3 or 4 minutes of a game whether the Oilers are really into it, because they're getting beaten to pucks, and right now the sphincters are tight. They're close enough to missing the playoffs where they're playing well. They got a fire lit under their ass. They just have to play like that all the time. I just don't know if they can, and we're about to find out. But man, when they're playing well, my God, that the Nurse, Murphy, they are pieces of work. They're nasty pieces of work. And Ekholm and Bouchard are playing well. That top line's doing right. Hyman and Nuge with Roslovic are just outstanding, and they're physical on the 3rd and 4th lines, and they're getting it done. There's not a lot wrong with the Edmonton Oilers, and that's bad for business for us, but it's good for fans, and hopefully they can keep it going here till the end of the year and maybe win the first division title since 1987.
Oh, it's been a long time, coming up.
Yep.
Coming up. When you think about it, there was a couple opportunities even in, in 90 and things like that, but man, oh man, it's been a long time since they won a division title.
Yep. Well, you should have seen my hair in 1987, Karius. It was amazing.
What did it look like?
Oh, it was thick, I bet.
It was just like a mop. It was like a mop, and of course, I'm too cheap to get haircuts, so it was an unruly mop. But there was a lot of hair. Let me tell you.
I bet it probably looked like when you fall asleep in the barn and the cows licked your head.
That's right. Like Dee Ramone is what I looked like. There you go.
Have a great show, Tide. Thanks, man.
All right, be good, boys.
Alan Mitchell, you hear him daily, 12 to 2, right here on Sports 1440. The Lowdown with Low Tide. That's the Puck Report, brought to you by Fountain Tire. And again, check them out at fountaintire.com. Book your appointment today. They focus on one thing, and that is your vehicle. Text 833-401-1440. Jerry chimes in. Hey, boys, listening in from Ottawa. I'm at the Canadian Ringette Championship. How about a shout out to the Sherwood Park Under-19 AA Power as they compete for a national title. So
yeah, bring that thing home, Jerry.
Good luck, Jerry and the gals at Nationals in Ottawa. Text 833-401-1440. We'll get to those texts when we come back on the Kevin Karius Show with Eddie Steele, Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM Radio, presented by Sports Select. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. We're the #1 dealer in the world. Just kidding. If we were, would you care? We're the #1 dealer in Canada. Still kidding. You probably still don't care. Tell you what you will care about, our March Madness sale going on right now. Discounts up to $30,000. And the grand opening of our Autoplex, a massive indoor showroom. No self-proclaimed titles, no iPads, no trips to Vegas or hockey jerseys, just a really good deal. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
With the lead up to the playoffs underway, players are definitely stepping up their game.
And the fans are doing the same. Simple snacks like chips and dip may work at the front half of the season, but now more and more fans are rocking the Wilhauk beef jerky for game time get-togethers.
Just make sure you bring enough for everyone if you want to be invited back for the playoffs.
Make your next hockey game day a Will Hockey game day with Wilhauk beef jerky, only available in Leduc. Get yours today because you don't win games with salad.
Mr. Reuter kinda speaks French. Je m'appelle Monsieur Reuter. Je suis plombier.
Très bien, Mr. Reuter. Your name is Mr. Reuter, and you are in fact a plombier, a plumber. You are an excellent student.
Au contraire, mon frère, je suis un excellent étudiant. Also, I'm not here for a French lesson. I'm here because someone clogged up the toilets.
Ah, oui, right this way.
For a plumber who speaks your language, call Mr. Reuter.
One app, triple the action. Play Alberta is proof that good things do come in threes. Whether you're into playing any of our exciting casino games, betting on your favorite professional sports teams from around the world, or buying into Canada's biggest lotteries, Play Alberta is the province's only app to do it all. Download today and discover a new way to play.
Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
This hockey season, before every game, check out the pregame show with Andrew Walker on Sports 1440. It's brought to you by Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca.
At Fountain Tire, the savings come in threes. Up to 25% off select tires, a mail-in rebate of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires, and $50 off a $150 service. We're basically the VLT of savings. Until April 25th. Restrictions apply. Book today.
Heard of Uline? You know, the have-it-all in stock, ready-to-deliver shipping and industrial supply specialists. The company that does things for you that are unheard of, like keeping 41,000 items in stock in our own warehouses. With customer service reps on the line to get you what you need, when you need it, 24/7, 365, every time. Maybe you heard it here first. Want to hear more? Visit uline.ca. ULINE, your shipping and industrial supply specialists.
Why pay dealership prices when you can get the same quality for less? Hi, it's Lisa, and here at Ed's Auto Salvage, we've been Alberta's trusted source for used auto parts for nearly 50 years. From engines to mirrors, transmissions to tires, we've got it all at prices guaranteed to keep your wallet happy. Shop local, shop smart. Shop Ed's Auto Salvage in Westlock. Be sure to visit us online at edsautosalvage.com and get your vehicle back on the road for less.
Sports 1440.
All sports,
all day.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Thanks for listening to Edmonton's sports leader.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 744 in Edmonton. Note from the Chicago Blackhawks. The team is going to recognize Troy Murray into the Blackhawks Hall of Fame. St. Albert's Troy Murray just passed away from cancer. One of the all-time great guys in the game. He's been on our show quite a few times. And, you know, just every time the Chicago Blackhawks would come to town, you'd go up to the press box and have a conversation with him, and he was just unreal. Anyway, on behalf of the entire organization and the Wirtz family, we are proud to announce the induction of Troy Murray into the Blackhawks Hall of Fame as part of the inaugural class. Now, I thought that they already had a kind of a Hall of Fame already. You know, most teams do, but I guess they don't. So
that's interesting too for an original six.
Well, that's what I mean. Like,
you know,
I mean,
the history there.
Blackhawks were a funny organization a long time ago, Eddie. When they used to black out the games. You know, they didn't televise the games. Then when Bill Wirtz died, then Rocky kind of took over, I guess, Rocky Wirtz.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I mean, they did it differently. It was run very poorly. I remember going to do games there in the old stadium. And then when they got the United Center, well, the funny part of that is, Eddie, the old Chicago Stadium could fit inside the United Center.
Really?
Yeah, that's
wow.
Like the United Center is like cavern, like just massive.
Yeah.
But and that's because the old stadium, well, that's why it was the loudest barn in the league, because the sound just bounced off the walls and everything like that. And then they had the organ going.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just nuts in there. But they, at that time, and this is about 25 years ago, the franchise was in disarray. I mean, they were getting 8, 9, 10,000 fans per game,
right?
You know, and they just weren't promoting the team. So this is just like one little step here too. So text 833-401-1440. Bobby texts in, morning guys. I want to sound premature as far as this team potentially making some noise in the playoffs, but the Draisaitl injury has forced Knobloch into utilizing his lineup like a true team. No nuclear option allows the rest of the lineup to play with some added confidence because they know they are relied upon and they will have a chance to make a difference. That's a fair comment.
It is a fair comment, and it's a trap that every coach over the years since Connor and Leon have been together has fallen into.
Yeah,
is that nuclear option. And when you go nuclear, the roster, who there's no denying, gets thinned out, and as opposed to spreading them out and giving everybody some love.
Yeah. 833-401-1440. Justin called it, the Madhouse on Madison. That's what it was called, on Madison Avenue in Chicago. Kent McKenzie texts in, shout out to the Stettler Imperials. Duke, we might have to get your opinion on this one. Winning the ECSHL League Championship for the first time Friday. Game 5 against Wainwright. Almost 1,300 people filled the Stettler Rec Center to watch. The fellas also celebrated like Shoresy team going all night Friday and all day Saturday on a bus to Red Deer to the ballet and casino. So, Duke,
the Imperials obviously right across the river from Delburne. They play in the same league as the Senior Outlaws. My younger sister's boyfriend plays on the team. He did not play. He broke his wrist in practice earlier this week. But besides the point, how about this, Kev? So this is Senior A hockey.
Okay.
And it's a big deal for a lot of these small towns. Stettler is far and away the biggest town in this league.
Okay.
Lots of fans come out. It's great to see, as he said. Him and the other guys that weren't playing put the gear on to go out for the celebration when they won on Friday.
Oh, really?
In senior hockey. He was telling me that I said it to him as a joke Saturday when I seen him when we were getting things ready for my grandpa's memorial. And I kind of joked with it. He's like, "Oh yeah, no, we all put the stuff on. We were told to." And I said, "Bardsey, that is the most preposterous thing I've ever
So when
heard."
you say put the stuff on, like at the rink, they
like
put their gear on to go out on the ice.
They go down just like in the Stanley Cup, Eddie.
Yeah, all the black
all
aces.
the black aces, the healthy, like the scratches, the injured guys, whatever, they'll go down underneath. And this is I couldn't imagine doing it in like a game where it's coming down to the wire.
Yeah.
I think the Imperials, if I recall correctly, were pretty comfortably ahead. They kind of knew what was coming down the line here. And Steelers played in the finals a couple times. They've only been in the league for 5 or 6 years now. They've been one of the best. Like I said, they're the biggest town by a mile. Some say they're too big to be playing in this league, but that's a conversation for another day. Credit to them. They're a really good team. For sure. They were the best team in the league all year. Not even close.
That's, man, I can't get over that. Even like in the Grey Cup, imagine some guys who are on the sideline or some guys who are on the practice roster. And they show up after in the confetti and gear.
That would be Eddie putting out and then making. So he would turn to his right to wave to the stand.
Yeah, wave to just the one side of the stadium.
But it's the Jumbotron I'm waving.
Yeah. You see the back of his head because he can't turn to his left. Joe Daddy texts in, "Hey boys, just took a road trip to Ontario. I need to ask the experts, what is the deal with all the Chicken Chief restaurants in Saskatchewan and Manitoba?"
Chicken Chef.
Chicken chef.
It's chef.
So he's
Yeah,
got
yeah.
chief. He typed in chief. I don't know. Like
there's a lot of chicken chefs. Small town.
I don't recall. Like, I mean, like more towards Manitoba or
Yeah, yeah, there is quite a bit into Manitoba. I don't recall a ton in Sask.
Yeah, I don't either.
But in Manitoba, absolutely.
Yeah, he's got chief.
Yeah, no, it's Chicken Chef.
Chicken Chef.
Yeah, that's an old school establishment.
It's
man.
like the Snickers
That's
commercial.
classic.
Hey, the Snickers commercial with the chefs when the guy painted it in the end zone. Who are the chefs? Because it was supposed to be
Chiefs. Yeah, I don't remember that one.
Yeah. I don't recall these chicken chefs. And then you say more, like, are they in
there's-
Winnipeg too or what?
Yeah, there's probably about 4 or 5 of them in Winnipeg. They in the
So like
city,
what, is
they're
like
more of a
KFC or
dying
what?
breed. Yeah, it's kind of mom and pop chicken, fried chicken.
833-401-1440 Nails chimes in. I think the Dickinson Murphy pickup is what is pulling this team together. You know, you're bang on there, Nails, and we talked about it on Friday, Eddie, about, you know, even like Murphy he's helping Nurse along here.
Absolutely.
And it's funny because a lot of people get ticked off when you say that because of, you know, Darnell should be
Pulling other guys along.
Yeah,
because he's 9.25.
Yeah, whatever the guy, but he's been around long enough, so he's got to be the guy that pulls guys in. But now Murphy's doing that with him. So
Murphy's an old cat too. He's been in the league for over 10 years, is it? Or 9 years?
Yeah, Murphy's coming up to 1,000 games here. He's like
Yeah.
900.
So, man, having that type of experience, I liked what Low Tide said too. Those guys, they're greasy. Those two. I was thinking when he said it, Low Tide said that. I was gonna say to you, Murphy and Nurse, they could belong to the Bone Club. We would welcome them with open arms as Bone. You know what I mean? They're nasty out there.
Bone. I think it was probably Carter Kettle. They had Bomb, like that's for the Bears. They have Bomb. You know what that is?
No.
I think it's Brotherhood of
Mad Bears.
Something
like that, probably.
I don't know what it is.
Mean Bears.
That could be it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to check now on Connor Murphy's 817. So I was off a bit by saying this.
But he's up there.
Yeah.
Okay, while you're checking Murphy, would you mind checking Nurse? How many games he's at?
How many games Darnell is like in his career?
Yeah. If Murphy's 817, I'm just curious what Nurse he might be. Probably relatively in there.
Darnell
7 to 8.
total is 790.
Ooh, not bad.
So
I
almost
said
the
7
same.
to 8.
Yeah.
Close.
Jerry says Chicken Delight, Eddie, old school.
Oh man, I love Chicken D. Jerry, that's crazy that you say that because I was thinking about Chicken D this weekend. That is old school. They got the best hot wings, Karius.
Yeah, my Aunt Gwen just texted and says Melville had a chicken chef or whatever it is.
Oh,
closed a few years ago. I don't remember it. Huh.
Mooseman's got the Red Barn. You've never stopped at the Red Barn, have you?
No.
In Mooseman?
No.
They have some real bomb chicken.
Did a hockey school there years ago. I think I was like 16 years old.
You were coaching a program or you took a
No, I was coaching as a 16-year-old. There's some kids that were older than me. Yeah, there's good. Like Bobby Lowe's was there. He ended up to be he was just starting to coach the Regina Pats back then. He was drafted by the Rangers, played in Prince Albert.
Would that have been through your pops or?
No, it was a guy named Ernie Wells. And Ernie Wells had two boys, Brian and Brad. Brad was a decent player. Brian was like crazy. Like he was a 400 penalty minute guy.
Loose.
Yeah. Like he was and tough and fought and stick work and all that stuff. But he was a good guy off the ice too. I think he's like about a year or two older than me.
Okay.
So 833-401-1440. Dallas has just started listening, but don't downplay Paul Coffey. He's one of the reasons things are coming together.
There's some truth to that too. A lot of things can be right at the same time. That's right. I didn't think about Paul, but it's all coming along.
Well, again, and they got a chance here. You got Seattle, and then you got Chicago, and then Vegas coming in here. You got a chance to string and stack up some wins. And again, we've talked about this for like months. The Oilers haven't had a period of time for more than a week. They haven't played consistent good hockey for more than a week here all season long. So now this is an opportunity.
And let's not look too far down the road, but with the way they're playing and the way the Pacific is looking coming out of the playoffs, man, getting to the Western final isn't looking too daunting at this point.
My buddy Blair, how about this, hey? If this happens, Eddie.
Okay.
KK, after the huge win from the Jets on Saturday, I'm going all Morpheus and say I'm beginning to believe 3 points out now.
I've been tracking too, Kevin.
If Winnipeg sneaks into the playoffs.
Wow.
After the pick of Florida not making the playoffs and Winnipeg when they were second last, I think, in the West.
You want me and Duke to come over there and pat your back?
That would be great. Coming up at the top of the hour, Mark Spectre from Rogers Sportsnet. Before that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by All-Star Construction. They shape and build Edmonton communities specializing in underground utilities like power, gas, telecommunications, and street lighting. That's All-Star Construction. Here is the Duke.
The Sports 1440 update.
Half of the games across the NHL yesterday. The Rangers beat the Panthers 3-1. Lightning get past Nashville 3-2. Habs stopped the Hurricanes 3-1. Bruins sneak went out over the Blue Jackets 4-3 in a shootout. Devils over the Hawks 5-3. And the Flyers beat the Stars 2-1 in overtime. Off the ice, Vegas Golden Knights firing head coach Bruce Cassidy and hiring John Tortorella as his replacement. Cassidy won a Stanley Cup with Vegas in his first season with the team back in 2023. Tortorella, a cup winner himself and two-time Jack Adams Award for the league's top coach. Philadelphia Flyers also signing former top draft pick Porter Martone to his 3-year entry-level contract following his season at Michigan State. And in the PWHL, pair of games yesterday, Toronto losing to Vancouver 3-2. Boston doubled it up on Minnesota 4-2. And Ottawa shut out Seattle 2-0. Edmonton Oil Kings even their first-round playoff series with Saskatoon. Ethan McKenzie, the OT winner. Kings take it 4-3 over the Blades. And in the Alberta Junior Hockey League playoffs, Canmore finishes off Calgary 4-0, and Drumheller forces a decisive Game 7, beating the Camrose Kodiaks 4-3. In the association, full slate of games yesterday, including the Raptors, 139-87 winners over Orlando, largest margin of victory in the team's second largest margin of victory in the team's history. And March Madness yesterday, Michigan beating Tennessee 95-62, and the Duke Blue Devils blow a 19-point lead to lose to UConn on a slot second shot, 73-72. In the majors, Toronto Blue Jays finish off the sweep with the Athletics 5-2. Coming up in hour 2 of the Kevin Karius Show, we'll be joined by Sportsnet's Mark Spectre, and we'll check in with a new edition of In or Out. I'm Brendan Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
One app, triple the action. Play Alberta is proof that good things do come in threes. Whether you're into playing any of our exciting casino games, betting on your favorite professional sports teams from around the world, or buying into Canada's biggest lotteries, Play Alberta is the province's only app to do it all. Download today and discover a new way to play.
Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Don't let equipment failure stop you cold. At AWS Welding in Nisku, our factory-trained service techs are on hand for all welding equipment repairs. We're a fully warranted center for Miller, Lincoln, and ESAB. And we service all makes and models. Proper, regular service extends the life of your gear and keeps it running at peak capacity. Don't wait for a breakdown. Book your service appointment today at 780-979-0470. AWS Welding. We make it happen.
Divorce is never easy, but Fairway Divorce Solutions can help.
Their clear step-by-step process addressed all our issues, and we moved through the process quickly.
Fairway didn't take sides. They saved us money and heartache.
My ex, the kids, and I feel like we'll all be okay.
At Fairway Divorce Solutions, trained mediators and in-house lawyers will move your divorce process forward in a professional and efficient manner to achieve a fair resolution and separation agreement. Visit fairwaydivorce.com.
This hockey season, before every game, check out the pregame show with Andrew Walker on Sports 1440. It's brought to you by Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca.
That's 2 minutes for teeth chattering. Freezing on the sidelines again? The Kuma heated chair is a must-have for sports parents who want to cheer in total comfort. From chilly spring mornings to frosty fall evenings, you can finally be warm and comfortable for every game of the season. Shop Kuma Outdoor Gear online and choose from 4 unique models, including one you both can curl up in. Get yours today at kumaoutdoorgear.com.
Every morning, you look in the mirror and see less of yourself. Hair loss can feel like losing a part of who you are.
But it doesn't have to be that way. Hi, I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. At Advanced Hair and Skin Surgery, we understand the pain of hair loss. Our advanced hair restoration solutions won't just bring back your hair, they'll help you face the mirror with confidence.
Good morning, you sexy beast. Visit drvanceelliott.com today because it's time to be the man you remember.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 801 in Edmonton, text 833-401-1440. Jerry texted and says, I remember Bobby Lowe's losing his marbles often on the Brandon Wheat Kings bench. He used to coach there, Eddie. Better entertainment in the game. Bobby Lowe's would go like, and then his face would just turn into a beet because his blood pressure was going bananas. Yeah. Oh,
choking his head out.
He was a wild man, that's for sure. Time now for On the Mark, brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. March Madness is finally here. Yeah, and March Madness is no joke. No giveaways, no phony prizes, just a good old-fashioned deal. See more at northgategm.com as we welcome in Mark Spectre from Rogers Sportsnet. Good morning, Spec.
What's going on? March Madness.
You're like that, eh? You sent me a text yesterday. I was busy scouting the Seattle game.
Oh, were you?
Yeah. Well, I had the chucker going for the Mariners. I needed to keep a close tab on him. Emerson Hancock threw 6 innings, no hit ball. So I was kind of watching that game instead of the Duke final.
Well, I like March Madness, and I'm like any sports fan, right? I just like good sports. But every time I turn a game on this spring, it's been like a 20-point game. Every time I whip over and usually TSN has maybe 2 different games. So I think, maybe the other game will be good. And I go over and that's like a 30-point game. So I really haven't watched a ton of March Madness. I haven't stumbled onto many good games, to be honest with you.
And you get one.
Yesterday I'm watching and I go, what's UConn doing? They're down by 10. UConn's down by 10 to Duke. I says, I might as well hang around and see if something crazy happens here.
Yeah. Well, and it did. I mean, You think
What a
about all you got
finish.
to just hang on to the ball, right? And you're going to get fouled.
I know that Boozer kid didn't sleep good last night, but unbelievable.
That's
I
just
mean,
the way. I
that's
mean, young
Hey.
players, young guys, and they, it's just that's
That's
mistakes
what makes
are made.
college, so unique
know?
is you see those types of mistakes more regularly.
Yeah, and then the guy hits the clutch shot. I mean, it did take a mistake to give him the ball, but I loved his quote after. He said, he says, I had the ball, there's 10 seconds left. He says, I wanted to give it to someone who'd made a 3-pointer tonight. And he gives it to a guy, and the guy gives it right back to him. And he says, well, now there's 2 seconds left, and I got to shoot it.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, what do you think of the coaching change in Vegas? Spec?
Oh boy, that's it's a big one. I mean, 8 games left. It's somewhere between. I mean, there is some desperation here. I'm this isn't me being an Oilers fan or something like that. I'm not, but there's some desperation when you make a move with 8 games left. That's a pretty big deal. Like if you didn't like your coach, if your coach wasn't working, if there was some reason to fire him, you'd think you'd have figured that out somewhere in the 40s or 50s this year, because it's not like Vegas just got inconsistent and got ineffective. They've been that way all year.
Yeah.
So doing it with 8 games left to me is a little strange, but hey, man, maybe that new coach bump will get you somewhere. I don't know. What do you think, Kev?
Again, to me, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And I mean, it's not like, and John Tortorella, you see the fire, you see the passion, and maybe that's, as you say, that gives them that bump right now. But I mean, his record in the last several years is no screaming hell here.
No, he's not a world beater. The thing I look at this move from the athlete's perspective, and you bring in Torts with 8 games left, just as a player, how are you going to buy into his messaging? It's just so interesting because there's no accountability. There's no trust or relationship built up between player coach. Normally you need to have there's a relationship there. So to have a new guy come in when you're essentially at the playoff door, and it's just strange to me. I don't understand. Like you say, Spec, maybe it's a new coach bump they'll get, but man, it's a weird one to me. That's for sure.
Yeah. Is he coming in to change your systems? Because I'll tell you what, it's too late to change your systems, right? So, look at the Oilers. The Oilers changed their defensive system, a little bit after the Olympic break. And it's really taken, it took a full month before they started to effectively employ the new strategy in the defensive zone that the coaches wanted to do. And now, you know what? It was a good idea and it's working pretty well. And you can see from the stands of the press box that they're doing things a little different and they're winning games. Great. They don't have a month there. They don't have a month to put in a whole new defensive system. So effectively, you're saying, I got a coach coming in who's just going to get more out of my guys. Well, Cassidy's a pretty good coach. Cassidy gets a lot out of his guys. So I don't know. Let's watch it unfold. I mean, we're probably going to get a front row seat here in Edmonton because it looks like a first round series. So I guess it'll add a little juice to that series, boys.
The thing here is, I mean, don't count the Kings out in the Pacific. They're only 4 back with a game in hand on Vegas here too, Spec.
Yeah, don't tell me where the Edmonton's going to play the Kings again, Kevin.
That would be brutal. That would be brutal.
I'm just saying, I mean, LA's got an opportunity here, just like, and Seattle's, sniffing around. The Jets are sniffing around still, Spec, too.
I suppose. I mean, I guess if Vegas goes into free fall, there's someone there that will take their place. Sure, you can't say no to that.
Yeah.
They do have to pull out of this tailspin, and really, that's what McCrimmon's doing down there.
Yeah.
Is they got to stop the tailspin. It's not getting better. Cassidy hasn't been able to figure out how to get that team to win. Now, I guess I could say to you, maybe a lot of that has to do with picking Aiden Hill over Logan Thompson. Maybe a lot of that has to do with losing Pietrangelo and filling that hole with Rasmus Anderson, who hasn't got anything done down there. Maybe a lot of that's got to do with bringing in Mitch Marner, who hasn't, he's got some points, but he hasn't really turned the wheel down there. So none of that's the coach's fault, as far as I can tell.
Mark Spectre with us, Kevin Karius, Eddie Steele. What'd you make of the Oilers win 4-2 on Saturday afternoon over the Ducks?
Yeah, I think everyone, up here likes what's going on now. A tough game, good team. You don't get to just win 3-0 like everyone would love. Like, you got a 3-0 lead, and then it melted away pretty quick. Well, you know what they always say, Kev, the other team's trying too, right? Like I think you have to accept that when you get to this time of year and you're playing a first place team, it's not going to be a cakewalk. And they got to 3-2, and then they weathered the storm, man. And they got the goaltending, they got the defensive play they needed. They did score 3 goals in an empty netter against a very good team, against a really good goalie.
Yep.
And who doesn't like the way they're playing? I think there's a real solid, dependable, predictable air all of a sudden to the way the Oilers are playing. And that's what we've been looking for all year, isn't it?
Well, and, we were just mentioning too, they haven't played consistently good hockey for more than a week all year.
Haven't had a good week, right? 1 3-game win streak. Now 2.
Yeah.
So this would be, sorry, if you can, sorry, Eddie, if you get, you got Seattle and you got Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And those are games, obviously, you can win. You're on home ice. You're healthy. You're looking, you're feeling good about yourself. This, to me, would define a real step here, because the whole "you haven't been good for a week" thing. I've been saying it. We've been saying it, and it's true. And if you get to Saturday when Vegas comes to town and you've won, even if you won 4 out of 5 or 5 in a row, I think you could say you've taken a step. Is that fair?
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure. Yep.
Absolutely. Spec, I was just going to ask, we were busting this down a little bit before your hit here. There's quite a few different variables as to why I believe the Oilers are playing well. And I was just wondering if you might want to attribute a little more weight to a specific variable as opposed to others. And that would be, the Paul Coffey effect. That would be the additions of Dickinson and Murphy. That would be, unfortunately, the injury of Leon, but it's forced KK, Coach Knobloch, to play the roster more as a team. Is there anything you would attribute it to, or is it all just a combination of everything?
Well, I think if the theme was they had to defend better, and I think that was the overarching issue with this team, is they've always scored. So, and they're always going to score. So I think, to me, Eddie, I think you got to give Bowman some credit here, and we've slagged on Bowman lots this year, but you got to give him credit. He recognized what his team needed. He brought in a defensive centerman in Dickinson, who I think's been really good, and he sort of calmed out the line rotation a little bit. And he brought in Connor Murphy, who's a good defensive defenseman, and he's got Nurse settled down. So that's sort of 3 key positions. 3 C's, a giant position in your defensive posture, and a second pair that's big and gnarly and can defend and makes it hard for the other team. Every good team that wins something has that. So I guess in establishing those sort of pillars of defensive play, that's where it starts, right? You can't get anywhere until you lay down the foundation. And that's, to me, that's their foundation. Nurse and Connor Murphy and Dickinson, to me, are the where it's starting to look like a team that can keep a puck out of their net for me.
Well, all 3 defense pairings are complementing each other, Spec.
Yep.
Right now. And that's something they haven't had for a while.
Oh, and now all of a sudden Wallman's game's getting better.
That's what I mean.
So maybe that takes us to Paul Coffey, Eddie. I'm not sure. Proper deployment. We got a lefty-righty on every pair. That's important. And the first pair has been good for a long time here, and it still is good. It's even better now. Yep. So all of a sudden you got 3 pairs. You're right. And then don't forget the goalie. When's the last time we griped about goaltending on this station? It's been a while here, right?
I mean, his numbers are just fine, Connor Ingram. And now like Jari's still, he's the guy that has to still get it going, because they're going to need him at some point here.
Well, when are they going to play him?
Maybe not tomorrow, but maybe Thursday against Chicago.
You got to play in one of these 2.
Yeah. So maybe Thursday. Then you go Ingram tomorrow against Seattle, Thursday, Jari, and then go back to Ingram on Saturday against Vegas. No?
Yeah, that's probably what you do. And then you go out on the road and you have a back-to-back.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So, yeah, sure. I mean, I think Jari, both things are true. You need to get Jerry going, and you do. And he deserves a start here. He gave you the last start he played. He was really, really good. So you got to push that along a little bit.
Yeah.
Spec, you get a chance to catch any Jays baseball over the weekend?
Yeah, I watched a whole bunch. I love watching the Jays, man. They're fun too. Like, look, 2 walk-off wins and then a solid series sweep. What are we doing with the Athletics? They don't even have a name now. Hey, they're just the Athletics. Is that what we're doing?
Once they get to Vegas.
Who ever heard of a team that doesn't even have a city name on their uniform? Like, who are these guys? Do we refer to them as Sacramento?
No, just the Athletics.
Just nomads.
Gee, they're just nomads, eh?
That's they got some good players at the top of their lineup, but then after that, it tails off a lot.
And I guess their schedule is just hell, eh?
Wow.
They're sharing the AAA park with who's the Sacramento AAA team? Who do they affiliate with?
I don't know. Duke, you know? Duke has no sniff either.
I don't have a clue, but they got to share that stadium with a AAA team, so their schedule has to right.
That's brutal. That's brutal.
It's brutal.
The match.
Their opening season road trip is horrible. You know, they're all over the place.
Who would be the ownership group out there?
Giants, Duke says.
For that group, for the Athletics.
What about them?
Who would be the ownership group? Any idea?
Whoever bought him in Vegas.
Okay, Duke said John Fisher. Duke, you're a plethora of knowledge back there.
Who's John Fisher?
He's on the team forever. Listen.
So it hasn't transferred to the Vegas owners yet. That's what I'm getting to. Like, if it's going to Vegas, why don't they own it yet?
He's moving.
And is it going to Vegas?
Yeah,
because no one's building a park out there. I was just in Vegas, and the sports writers were saying it's the quietest story in town. No one really cares. There's no park getting built. Like, what's happening here?
I thought I saw some pictures of them building a park.
Are they? I don't know. We better look into that. But it's funny, Vegas, because you know it's not usually the NHL's on the cutting edge here, but they went in there first. And the Golden Knights are like, there was a quiz out there on Twitter the other day about cities in the States where the hockey team's the biggest team. And one of the cities that people said it was for sure Vegas. And like Vegas is such a success story, the Golden Knights. The Raiders are in there, and they're not a success story. They're not Vegas's team. The people down there are kind of like, whatever. It's all a bunch of people coming to town once a week to cheer for the visitors. Now we got a baseball team. I know the NBA is talking about it.
Yeah.
But I'm not so sure that hockey won't still be the favorite Vegas team there 2 years, 3 years from now.
Because they've started.
Exactly. That's what I've heard actually, is because it's it's their own baby. It's not a team that had been relocated there. So there's the community really embraced them.
Yeah. Yeah, good. Well, now they got Tortorella, so that'll stop.
It's going to be built on the historic site of the former Tropicana Hotel.
Oh, is that right?
Apparently.
Okay, well.
We shall see.
We shall see.
It's a quarter built already, Spec.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I've seen pictures of it.
Okay.
You got the whole outside of it all done.
Okay, well. It's like that park at Spruce Grove that's been getting built here.
Oh, man.
Right? When are we going to watch a ball game in that yard?
It's been a shell for years.
It's kind of like my career. We keep waiting for it to get somewhere.
And it ain't going anywhere, Spec.
At this point, I'm not betting anymore.
No. All right, Spec. Good stuff. We'll see you down at the rink tomorrow, I guess.
Sounds good, boy.
Mark Spectre, Rogers Sportsnet on the Mark, brought to you by, powered by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. This truck's for you. Check them out at northgategm.com. Well, I mean, got to go to Vegas, Eddie.
Got to get there.
I mean, at that ballpark, it would be similar, I would say, to what they have in Arizona, because you need to cool things off in the summer down there, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I wouldn't mind catching some sports down there. I have some family.
Lance says the stadium's on track for the A's to play in 2028.
Couple seasons.
Yeah. The new $2 billion Major League Baseball stadium, JP says, is under construction on the former Tropicana Hotel site. 33,000 seats, scheduled to open in 2028. 18,000 square foot scoreboard.
Oh, it'll be state of the art
Oh, yeah.
whenever it does open. It'll be fancy.
So you
and
have
shiny.
relatives in Vegas?
Yeah.
Who?
My aunt is down there.
Really?
Yeah.
How often?
So
do you
we
go
went
down there?
last summer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, last July. It was nice, man.
Oh,
Vegas in July, you would think it's insane.
Too hot though.
No, KK. That 36, it's dry, as you know. So it just hits differently. It's very pleasant.
Tyler says the first escalator in the Vegas park went in last week.
Make him. How do we know this? Did he read it somewhere?
No,
Is
maybe
Tyler
he was
Boots,
there.
Tyler Boots on the ground?
Maybe he was there.
Is that Tyler Yaremchuk coming
Tyler
back from
J.
the Oilers Nation vacation in Vegas?
Oh man. Our Elks, I think I've saw an image of the new baseball stadium in Vegas in the Journal this morning. Maybe.
Interesting.
Yeah, you should get some products going down there, Eddie.
Too much cost for shipping.
Why? Just take them down over the border.
Yeah, I'll drive it myself.
Why not?
I'll deliver. I got your cases.
What would you sell down there to these guys?
Oh, I could sell a lot.
Like what?
Anything for the maintenance of the building, the guts of the building, boiler treatment chemicals, HVAC cleaning products.
Did you sell anything to
traps.
Richie? The Clue? No.
Oh yeah.
Like what?
Some boiler treatment chemical.
Yeah?
Yeah, for some properties.
Did you give
they
him a
made.
deal?
Man, don't worry about my
Did
business.
you give
hey
him a
man,
deal?
hey, don't worry about my business.
kind of, like-
Hey, where's my charcuterie board?
What?
When are you gonna bring that?
What did you say?
My,
What did you
my,
call it?
my charcuterie.
Oh boy.
What you? Let's hear you say it.
It's a
Radio
hard-
silence.
It's a hard C. It's not.
Let's hear it.
Charcuterie.
Charcuterie.
No. Eddie, come on now. But I can't. I have to find my brand, and I got the steel brand.
And the snow keeps coming down, so Kevin can't find it in the backyard. It's buried.
It's
back there
somewhere in the backyard.
Somewhere
Eddie.
in the back.
And I have to find it. So, when we come back, we'll get to some of your texts. 833-401-1440. Kevin Karius Show with Eddie Steele, Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM Radio, presented by Sports Select. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
Today on Hey Culligan, how smart is your water? Here's Tracy.
Hey, Culligan. I think my water might be dumb.
Good news, Tracy. Your water's not dumb. It's just not talking to you.
You can make my water talk.
No, but the new Culligan Smart Drinking Water System can talk to your phone to tell you when your water filters need changing and help you meet drinking water goals.
Now that's some brilliant H2O.
You said it, Tracy, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test from a local Culligan water expert at culligan.ca.
At GS Construction, every winter plan becomes a spring project. Every repaired line and every improved system is how we build the next chapter of Edmonton's infrastructure. And we can't do that without the best and the brightest in the field. That's why right now, GS Construction is looking to hire experienced top men, pipe layers, and operators who can step in and hit the ground running. With a people-first mentality, career growth, and comprehensive benefits, why would you want to work anywhere else? To apply, visit gsconstruction.ca.
Need a new ride for road trips, errands, or just life on the go? Go Auto offers a massive selection with over 15,000 new and used vehicles to choose from. With over 70 locations across Western Canada, finding your next ride has never been easier. Whether it's a roomy SUV for the family, a sleek car for the open road, or a rugged truck for your weekend adventures, you'll find it here at a price you'll love. Explore thousands of vehicles today at goauto.ca.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at edmontonexpocentre.com today.
Booster Juice is going crazy for hazelnuts.
No, not crazy. Nuts.
Booster Juice is going bananas for hazelnuts.
I mean, there are bananas in smoothies, but that's not the point.
Banana juice is booster for hazelnuts.
What? Just stop.
Booster Juice is going nuts for hazelnut. Introducing the Nutty Monkey Smoothie, Holy Hazelnut Acai Bowl, and Nutty Booster Ball, all made with rich, creamy hazelnut spread. Try them today, only at Booster Juice. Canadian born, blending since 1999. At Hughes, it's all about getting in and out quick and clean. No cash, no problem. With Hughes' new tap and wash system, all you need is your debit or credit card to get your vehicle sparkling clean.
Find us at HughesCarWash.com.
From the locker room to your radio, Sports 1440 is Edmonton's sports leader. Real talk, big personalities, and your texts. It's interactive. It's fun. It's where Edmonton talks sports. Sports 1440.
It's happened again, and construction season is coming soon. Job delayed, money lost, and clients disappointed because your rigging failed and it wasn't inspected. Don't let this happen to you. Have your lifting slings, fittings, hoisting tools, and safety harnesses checked with Titan Supply. Titan Supply offers certified on-site and in-house rigging inspections and service, so they can repair it, replace it, and recertify it. Titan Supply in Edmonton, Grand Prairie, Red Deer, and Calgary, and at titansupply.ca. Lift, dig, haul.
River Cree is the place for all your favorite sports. River Cree Resort and Casino, featuring UFC action and boxing live on the big screens at Tap 25, the MVP of sports bars, and in the center bar. Plus, catch all the biggest games, every goal, every slam dunk. River Cree is also home to the Twin Rinks, where rec hockey and community teams come to play. Public skating available. Details at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
This year, instead of a short winter getaway from the cold, what if you took a permanent winter getaway from your hair loss? Hi, I'm Dr. Vance Elliott, inviting you to come plan your winter transformation. I've helped thousands of Edmonton men and women get their hair and their confidence back. Many of them preferred the winter. Cooler temperatures are great for recovery, and winter hats can keep everything discreet. Trips are nice, but this winter, choose to invest in your vessel. Book a free consultation today at drvanceelliott.com.
The Kevin Karius Show, breaking down Edmonton's favorite teams, even though his favorite Junior A hockey team is the Yorkton Terriers. Thanks for checking in with Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 826 in Edmonton. Eddie Steele just brought out his smelly eggs in the studio here at West Edmonton Mall.
Just wanted to gas you.
Like, what are you doing? Like, did you boil them like this morning? And did you like overboil them? Like, what did you do?
Boiled about a dozen last night.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Like they reek.
I know. I wanted you to experience that. You were chirping me a little bit. I'm not even eating them right now. I just wanted to pull them out and open them around you so you'd have to smell
disgusting.
Eggy fart.
Text 833-401-1440. Hey, KK, this is from Aaron. Tell Duke that jealousy is a stinky cologne. I'll say the same thing Happy's coach told him. Better luck next year.
Let me guess, that's from Stetler?
I mean, I'm not on the team. I don't care.
It's a stinky cologne, Duke.
The only recorded playoff win in Senior LO's history I was on the team for. So I have my glory.
Triple C in a truck text in. Your brand is buried in the backyard like MTR's bracket. He had Purdue, correct, Duke? MTR's out with gout.
That's
Eddie's out. Everyone's out. Eh?
Yeah. I'm toast.
Who's going to win this thing, Michigan or Arizona?
Yeah, Michigan, I would say.
Ken says, great Blue Jays start. What's wild of the 81 outs, 50 of them are strikeouts. And we mentioned that off the top. 50 strikeouts. That's amazing. Nail says, not sure if Eddie in a U-Haul crossing the U.S. border with an indescribable load of chemicals may be your best idea.
And just with half of them labeled as dangerous goods. Not happening. I told you my border story last week, Kevin. Off air. It'd be that again.
Jordan says Eddie would eat ranch corn nuts on an airplane. Because of the smell of those things too.
I would.
Like your eggs are disgusting.
I eat hot food and smelly stuff on planes. Like you also don't want to be that guy, but sometimes you got to be that guy.
Honest Ed texts in, how do you guys not know there's a stadium being built in Vegas? You guys should get the internet. Well, Spec was the guy that was saying it here, Honest Ed.
You're catching the heat now.
Spec was the guy. I said I saw pictures of the thing being built already, so.
I stayed neutral.
Yeah. 833-401-1440. Now, did you give Richie a deal on these products or not?
Man, yeah.
Like what kind of deal? Like
we
10%
got a good
off?
relationship. It doesn't matter what kind of deal, man. We're not talking
Like if I want
numbers.
to buy some products, what am I buying and what kind of deal am I getting?
You don't fit the category of someone I would do business with.
Why not? What the hell does that mean? What does that mean?
Because I'm industrial, man. I'm industrial. I don't mess with you residentials.
What about his industrial gardening operation?
Yeah.
His wood shop out in the garage.
I got a couple chemicals you could use out there.
I don't know what this text from Jordan means. I need to know, did Eddie fight Bomber this weekend?
Did I fight Bomber?
I don't understand that. Can you please explain Jordan a bit more?
I didn't.
And he's got Bomber, B-A-U-M. Bomber, like is in Dan Bomb or something. I don't know.
There was no fists to cuffs for me.
Why not?
I'm soft.
You're soft?
I'm soft.
Yeah, you are getting soft in your old age, eh? Hey?
Coming from you.
Hey? Like, I mean, this was your week, with the combine and reliving your glory with 31 reps.
Yeah, wasn't it 33?
I don't know. I think it was 31.
I thought it was 33.
31 reps. Oh, you missed on Friday when I greased you pretty hard because the D-line times came out for the 40.
Okay.
And some guy was 4.79 maybe.
Quick.
Yeah. And I said, I said, well, I punched up Eddie's 40 from when he was in the combine.
What'd you say it was?
6.8 seconds or something.
You get out of here, man.
Do you know what your 40 was?
Man, I want to say 5:08.
5:08,
Like, yeah, just under a 5.1. I wasn't a burner. I always tell people, though, it's that T-test for me. I was quick there.
Jordan, so he's talking about the home and garden, so I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah. No, I didn't fight anybody at the home and garden, but I was there.
How busy was it down there?
It was quite busy on Saturday.
Yeah.
And I tried to go Saturday kind of prime time, right around 12:31 in the afternoon. Good setup down at the expo. I'll tell you what, though, I did see your beautiful face on the
at the
board.
Expo Center.
Yeah. The pixel board.
Yeah.
Sports 1440.
Wow.
Catch Karius.
We're going to try to get you on that board too, but
I'm not good looking enough, buddy.
Oh, come on now.
Look at you.
Yeah. Jane Victoria says Eddie needs to get his protein. No banana bread and eggs.
No, I went oatmeal this morning. Oatmeal and eggs. Keeping it
So why
old
don't you even
school.
have like salt and pepper on these eggs? Like you got to have pepper and salt.
There's a time and a place, yeah, but when a guy's on the run, you just take them and go.
I mean, no, you put that on to start, and then that kind of sucks some of that, like the juice out of the egg there,
See, I'm not weak like you. I don't need to flavor everything.
Okay.
I'll just eat my
So
food.
Jordan, it's Brian Baumler. Remember we were talking about Balmer?
Oh,
Balmer?
yeah.
Yeah, Brian Balmer.
Now I remember.
Yeah. Did you see him down there?
No, I didn't.
Well, wouldn't he have been on the stage or something? Or like, did they have
There was so many halls.
Oh.
Like they had like 3 different halls, and then in each hall there was, I don't know, hundreds of different setups.
Yeah. Adam says, I bet Eddie's the guy that heats up fish for lunch at work.
No, but you know what I'll do sometimes, because I'm on the road all the time for my lunch and I bring my Tupperwares. I'm always bringing leftovers. Sometimes I'll bring some gnarly leftovers, some fish and stuff, and I'll heat it up at gas stations. And usually I'm real polite, and I'll be buying
What's
stuff.
wrong with you?
I'll buy a drink or something. Like I'm not always just going in and micing and leaving. Sometimes I do. I definitely do.
So you do.
But when I have a gnarly one, KK, I'll heat it up, and then I'll just put my head down and like sprint out the door. Get out of there as quick as possible, man. I don't want people seeing me.
So you'll go and you won't buy anything, and you just use the microwave.
Absolutely, yes. Often. Sometimes I'll buy, but often. And you know what? People are generally pretty good about it. I have been kicked out of in my 7 years I've been at this full time, I've been kicked out of less than 5 gas stations. No, you can't use it.
Yeah, but then once you leave, they're getting they're pulling your face off the security camera and putting it up on the doors, being like, do not let this man in. He's cooking tuna in the microwave and then leaving.
Yeah, I've put a few pesto tuna pasta dishes through some mics.
Eddie,
You probably don't even use a lid.
I
do you?
cannot look at you the
that's
same way.
bad. That's bad. Although you guys know I'm a clean guy. So Duke, going back to that bathroom experience, why I ended up coming here. Because I know all the good stops and, I'm in and out of all these places.
He's like Costanza. He knows where the best
you do.
are.
Definitely do, man. You definitely know where to go and where not to go. And sometimes you'll open these microwaves in some rural communities and you think, how are people so slobby? They let the food splatter everywhere.
Just explained to us, you calling out people's gas station microwave etiquette
but
is
I don't,
the most
I don't make a mess. I make a smell.
Ironic thing I've ever heard in my life.
I make a smell. I don't make a mess.
I don't care.
I don't have exploded soup all over the microwave, the tray there, the disc.
You probably, I would bet you, if you're heating up tomato soup, you just let it blast. And
no way, man.
Covers
splatter all over. Yeah, get out of here. I'm not that guy. But I will make a pretty foul smell and run.
Lance says that's why the microwave is there. If a working man can't use a gas station microwave, society would crumble.
And it's valid. Man.
No.
Yes,
the microwave is there to heat up something you buy in the gas station.
Like a high guard sandwich.
Like a sandwich.
100%. That is what it is there
They're
for.
good.
It is not a public lunchroom microwave at your high school.
There are some, I want to say, no, Delburne, there's a gas station up the way from Delburne. I'm not going to name names, but sometimes they're so rude too. Sometimes they're really rude.
But when you go into these places, so you just take your little Tupperware thing in.
Yep.
And you put it in, and I'm sure those these are all the high industrial microwaves.
Usually that's only at about 7-Elevens where they got those super high end ones.
Jordan says Eddie's knocking on doors. Want some chemicals? No. Can I use your microwave? Yes.
I have used customers' microwaves before.
You gotta get with it.
I'm shameless sometimes.
You gotta get with it. 833-401-1440. In or out's coming up right after the break. I haven't even checked it. The one thing that we're gonna have Jensen Lewis on later in the show, and I want to talk to him about the ABS because it's the first weekend in baseball with the automated balls and strikes. And there's what's his name? CB Buckner. He's probably taken over for Angel Hernandez as the worst umpire. So anyway, he got just pasted. I think
how many misses did he have?
I think 6 or 8. I don't know, but they just kept going back and forth, and and then he's so emphatic when he's punching the guy out, and then he gets overturned, and he's like, it's like everyone knows besides him, and now the fans are on him. So
it's tough.
It's
a tough look.
Also, you know what? We got Cam and Eggs, Cam Tate. That'll be somewhere after the 9 o'clock hour. So Cam's going to be with us on the morning show, Cam Tate. So it's a quick little minute and a half hit, and it's going to promote the Jason Greger show with the 2-minute warning. So looking forward to having Cam on the morning show as well. Kevin Karius Show is presented by Sports Select. It's easy to play too. All you got to do is go to the website, generate the QR code, check it out at sportselect.com. It's 100% legal. You got to be 18 plus. Please play responsibly. We're back with In or Out right after the break. Kevin Karius, Eddie Steele, Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM radio, presented by Sports Select. We're also streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
Booster Juice is going crazy for hazelnuts.
No, not crazy. Nuts.
Booster Juice is going bananas for hazelnuts.
There are bananas in smoothies, but that's not the point.
Banana juice is booster for hazelnuts.
What? Just stop.
Booster Juice is going nuts for hazelnut. Introducing the Nutty Monkey Smoothie, Holy Hazelnut Acai Bowl, and Nutty Booster Ball, all made with rich, creamy hazelnut spread. Try them today, only at Booster Juice. Canadian born, blending since 1999.
Great news for your weekend project. CFI, that's Custom Floors Inc., is now open 6 days a week with Saturday hours from 10 till 2. Get top quality Canadian products from Beaulieu with the convenience you need. For your free estimate, visit CFI at customfloorsinc.ca.
Exciting news from St. Albert Dodge. The all-new 2026 Jeep Gladiator Sport packages have arrived. They have a great selection and a bunch of colors to choose from. And if you've checked out the Sport, you know it comes in some fun colors. Rugged capability, practical off-road features, and you can get behind the wheel for as low as $49,900. That's right. Put yourself in a brand new Jeep Gladiator Sport for less than $50,000. What more can you ask for? Time to head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the #1 heating and cooling company for people who want heating and cooling, because you'll save a bundle by bundling. Then you can use hot, cold, Common thermostat, do what you're told. Turn up the heat, turn up the cold, to the vents start pushing out tornadoes. Bundle my furnace with some AC. Gonna get a new from Legacy. Oh yeah. Save a bundle when you bundle your new furnace and AC from Legacy today. Plus no payments and no interest for 1 year. That's how you build your legacy. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Do you sit around at work listening to sports radio all day? That's right, my friend. There's no shame in it. It's the good life. And we're not here to snitch. Say, if your company advertised on Sports 1440, you could be the one listening for your company's ad every day. Now you've got an excuse to listen to Sports 1440 all day. It's part of the job. Sounds like someone's getting a promotion. Email Gregor at sports1440.ca and let's get to work for you.
Fountain Tire, the savings come in threes. Up to 25% off select tires, a mail-in rebate of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires, and $50 off $150 service. We're basically the BLT of savings. Until April 25th. Restrictions apply. Book today.
This hockey season, before every game, check out the pregame show with Andrew Walker on Sports 1440. It's brought to you by Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca.
Legacy Heating and Cooling offers no payments and no interest for 1 year on your new furnace. So, when you wake up to no heat, call Legacy. Call Legacy. If you need it immediately with no overtime rates. If you need it immediately and want to combo it with AC. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. No payments and no interest for 1 year on your new furnace. It could only be Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Oh, Canada. Jiffy Lube is here to keep you moving through mornings like these. Full synthetic oil changes, quality Pennzoil products, tire checks, battery tests, and everything else your car needs to get through our winters. Stop by Jiffy Lube for fast, easy, warranty-approved service. No appointment, no hassle. Just dependable service right when you need it. Jiffy Lube, keeping you moving through this.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 841 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Eddie Steele with you. Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM radio. Well, Eddie, you've really struck a chord with listener Nils. He ain't happy with you. He says, he texts in and goes, what Eddie is bragging about is effing shameful and disgusting. He should not be on the air promoting behavior like that. The fact that he runs out of the store after microwaving fish shows that he knows it's wrong, but he's so entitled that he is fine with people making minimum wage to clean up his mess. I lost any respect I had for him with that, from Nils. Boy, you really have upset our buddy Nils here, Eddie.
Man's got to eat.
Yeah.
And what mess? I don't make a mess. Get out of here with that nonsense. I'm a little bit actually OCD when it comes to the cleanliness, so I'm not that guy leaving a mess. But I will use your microwave. And yes, Duke, I'll leave a smell sometimes. But that will dissipate away.
I can't wait till Nils sees you in
Boy.
some 7-Eleven or whatever it is now.
Nils is going to punch me out.
Yeah, he's going to take Eddie down.
I'm sorry.
I hope he follows you around.
Nils, just please don't lose all respect for me based off my heating of my lunch practices. I'm more of a man than just that, Nils. Please, there is more to me than that.
Would you ever
Don't
consider?
lose me.
Would you consider like a small microwave for your car, plugged into
the adapter?
Yeah, into the lighter.
Yeah, I would consider that.
I think that would work. I don't know. I don't know if other people do it, but
yeah, that's it's pretty next level.
Yeah. Ed says, at least buy something, you cheap. The blah blah blah.
I do sometimes.
Sometimes.
But no, not every time. Not every time I'm going to give you my business, and I will use the microwave.
I never thought that we'd have like this would get to this stage where Nils is really
He's offended. He's offended.
He's mad at you, Eddie.
He is offended.
Time now for In or Out, brought to you by Pro Solutions. If you need fast air conditioning service, Pro Solutions offers expert repairs, tune-ups, and installs with flexible financing. Book your appointment now at prosolutionsinc.ca.
Okay, you know what? Moving too fast. Bottom line, are you in or are you out?
In or out of what?
No time for questions, just action. In or out?
Well, then I'm out.
I'm sorry, Jet. Actually, you're already in.
Are you in or are you out?
On Sports 1440.
I thought you would go, I'm in, Bob. We would have had a really cool moment, but you kind of ruined the whole thing.
All right, Duke Letterbuck.
Rewind to Saturday afternoon. The Oilers with a big win over the Anaheim Ducks. It was their third straight victory, the second time this year they've accomplished this impressive feat. If the Oilers can pick up wins over Seattle and Chicago, teams that are below them in the standings this week, the doubt that people, and I'm just using that as the broadest sense, us included, fans, analysts, whomever, the doubt that people have in this team will have shrunk to its lowest point of the season.
Yeah. Again, we've been talking about this. They haven't played for a week. You know, it's been a week of good hockey, and then it's disappeared. So this is an opportunity to play good hockey for like a week and a half. I'm going to be in. The concern level, is that what you would be calling it, Duke?
Sure.
Would be the lowest for sure. So I'm going to be in. And not only that, but I think maybe you want to add in the Vegas game too, Duke, on Saturday.
Maybe, but let's just say you get to Saturday and you're coming in winners of five straight. All of a sudden, you played like, even going back to the game before that, which was the loss to Tampa Bay. You played pretty well. Yeah. You just lost to a better team. I think like unless you go in and lay an egg like you have at other times this year, where you get run out of the building.
Yeah.
Come Saturday, then I guess we'd be having a different conversation. But if they win these next two and do it in a way that's like they were the better team, they played the right way, they deserve to win these games over inferior opponents, then yeah, Saturday's result isn't the biggest issue to me necessarily.
Yeah. No, I'll be in for sure. The doubt will be quite low if they continue to play the way that they're playing. Strong defensive effort, strong, solid team efforts. I'd be in.
The Vegas Golden Knights team we were just mentioning there made waves yesterday, firing head coach Bruce Cassidy, hiring John Tortorella to take over with just 8 games remaining on the regular season schedule, still sitting third place in the Pacific Division, 4 points ahead of the LA Kings, who trail them on that front. This is a little bit of a head scratcher for me, but I think the most perplexing part of it all is that Tortorella signs on as the head coach, and it's not even on an interim basis.
Go ahead, Eddie, if you want.
Yeah, I guess. No, I'll be out. It's not perplexing that there was no label of interim. You come in, you're the head man. You fired the other head man, so having the interim label really would mean nothing at this point, because Vegas
contractually it absolutely would.
Well, but they've shown that it doesn't even matter, because they'll get rid of you in a heartbeat if it doesn't work out. So interim or not interim, be it the full tag head coach, they'll move on. So it doesn't even matter.
So you're saying that you think he'll be back as the head coach next year?
Well, I think that's guaranteed at this point.
Yeah.
He probably signed a 3-year contract.
Yeah. So there's no need to have the interim title.
But you're telling me that in 8 games and maybe a 5 or 6 round playoff series, maybe more if they can. But so let's just say it doesn't go well and they lose in the first round. The Oilers like beat them in 4 or 5 games, or whoever beats them. All of a sudden, you realize like, Tortorella might not actually like. I just don't get it. But if you're interested in bringing in a guy with this much, like the veteran, the experience, all those things, try and crack the whip a little bit, could you not say to him, "Hey, Torts, we think you might be the guy here, but we need to see it in it." But no, actually, we're just going to bring you in for the next 3 years. And you're right, Eddie. They'll fire him if it doesn't work in another season. But like, they're not going to fire him before next year.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I don't think the title matters though. The title of intern.
Buddy Brad McGregor texted me. He says, KK, check out the top 94 goalies in the league. We'll see if Torts can make saves. Their goalies have been awful all season. Bizarre move. And they have been really bad. So what's the old line? I think Scotty Bowman used to say, what makes a successful coach? You get off the bus with, the best goaltender and the best players from there that follow him. So I think it's puzzling to me, the change. I mean, what was it, 26 years ago, Duke, for Larry Robinson when they fired,
it was 2000 or 01. I can't remember.
Fired Robbie Ftorek with whatever similar amount of games here left. So that's what the magic they're looking for. They're hoping that's what happens.
It's a desperate move.
Yeah.
Well, it reeks of desperation, 100%. I don't think anybody's really in contention about that. Yeah. But my contention with it is that so the Vegas Golden Knights in their franchise's history have only had recycled coaches. Correct? They've never hired a guy for a first-time job. It's always a veteran to try and bring in. They fire Pete DeBoer after going to Cup final and all these things. But like the Torts ad fits that mold. But I just don't see Eddie, I don't know if you're tracking this with me. Like if you get named the interim head coach, it's essentially for the rest of the year, right? And that's what your contract entails. Come end of season, you reevaluate and you either sign him to a full 3-year contract or name the head coach of the team, or you say, all right, this wasn't a fit. We're going to move on and seek out other options. And if you're Vegas right now, do you not want to give yourself a little more flexibility to maybe go in a fresher direction should this season continue in the direction it's headed? I just think tying yourself to Tortorella, it doesn't make sense to me.
My whole thing is there is no tie. Vegas has shown that they'll cut ties as soon as they want. There is no ties.
They're not going to fire him
next year
after this playoff run or even next season.
They're not so sure. Why? What if they come out to a slow start? Are you sitting here saying if Vegas comes out to a slow start next season, they wouldn't move from Torts? Really?
I would be surprised.
I don't buy that.
I would be surprised. But time will tell, and Oilers fans will get a first look at him Saturday when they are back here against the Oilers. Final Four in NCAA's March Madness bracket is set. Duke blowing a 19-point lead, 17 points in the second half. They lose on a last-second shot to the UConn Huskies, who are back in the Final Four for the third time in 4 seasons. It has now been 11 years since the Blue Devils last won a national championship and 4 years without a finals appearance under John Shire since he took over following Coach K's retirement. Going into next season, sticking with the coaching storylines here, I think going into next season, John Shire is on the hot seat.
Sure, yeah. I mean, Duke's the marquee program in NCAA basketball. It's that simple. And they haven't been able to get the job done. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets turfed next year at all.
Got to get to the Final Fours. Yeah. And if you look at the prospects that have come through, Cooper Flagg, this year, the Boozers.
The past 2 years, they are supposed to be the best team in the country, and most of the regular season they were, and then they come up short. They made it to the Final Four last year, credit to them. But you had 2 guys in Knipple and Flagg. When you're watching them in the NBA this season, you say, how did they not mollywop everybody en route to a national championship? Yeah. And it's only 2 players, but basketball is a very individual-driven sport, even at the college level. So we just saw UNC fire Hubert Davis, who was the man tapped to replace Roy Williams. Excuse me. Thank you, Eddie. Down there, Shire was the man in waiting, right? He was like hand selected by Coach K. Places like this do not have a lot of leash for a lack of success. When you're spending that much money on players, the transfer portal, there's really no excuse. I think without a Final Four appearance next year, he could very well be in trouble. And Kevin is just being entertained by the text line.
I need to hear it, Kevin. I need to hear it. What's going on over there? Real quick.
We'll do it at the end.
Okay.
Nils has sent in another couple texts.
Okay.
Toronto Blue Jays opened their season with a sweep of the Athletics over the weekend. Great performances of starting pitching. I mean, 50 strikeouts over 3 games. Really, really good. The hitting coming up with some timely notes. New player, Okamoto, with his first home run in yesterday's victory. But I think the X factor for the Jays this season to have success, maybe come back as pennant winners, another deep playoff run, I think it comes down to Andres Jimenez, acquired last year, solid season. We know the defense is going to be there, but they need more from him offensively for this team to make another run at the AL East title.
Oh, I'm in on this one, Duke. I think he's going to steal 30 bags this year, get back to where he was a couple of years ago when he was in Cleveland. I mean, he was an all-star. He batted .290 that year, had, I think, 17 home runs, 30 bags. It's about turning the roster over and turning the batting order over. And between him and Ernie Clement, they moved Okamoto up for game 3 of the series. But those two guys on the bottom, when you got Clement and you got Jimenez, the ability to turn that roster over and the batting order over to get those guys at the top of the order with men on first, second, whatever you want to call it, on base, massive. And then, as Duke just said, the defense. He's a way better shortstop than Bo Bichette.
He's a Gold Glove caliber shortstop.
He's a great shortstop. Like, and think about this. The chemistry that between him and Ernie Clement at second and at short. You see the double play balls.
Totally.
They're starting, and think about how much they played together at that, at second and short. Nothing but good things with Jimenez. If he can bat 250, 260, and again, he's a base stealer threat. And again, the defense, they're ahead of the game.
There you go, KK. Yeah. I mean, very well said. Yeah. Not much more else to add. I'm in as well.
Yeah. And I mean, they didn't need him yesterday, but boy, the first 2 games, I think he had 6 hits or something like that.
Exactly. Right? Getting on bases, man.
Yeah. He's that good.
Finally, coming up at 9:40 today, we're going to have the debut, as you mentioned, Kim, of Cam Tate's new segment here on the program, Cam and Eggs, previewing the 2-minute warning that'll come up on the Gregor Show later. And as Cam he really was chatting with me about it last week when we were taking a trip down the mall. He says there's going to be a lot of humor, a lot of jokes mixed into these Cam and Eggs segments here over the course of the Kevin Karius Show. Cam and Eggs. We're just talking eggs. It's couldn't have worked out any better here with Eddie stinking up the studio for no reason other than spite this morning.
Yeah.
A hot button topic. The only upside, and I cannot believe in this more. The only upside of a hard-boiled egg is the convenience.
I'll be out.
Well, of course you're going to be out. I mean,
the main upside is the health, Duke. That's why we eat hard-boiled eggs. Get that protein right to the dome, baby.
So, Eddie, you listen, you're a lot smarter than me, clearly. How does cooking a hard-boiled egg change its nutritional value compared to cooking it in another fashion?
It doesn't.
Okay, so thanks, Tips. The only part about a hard-boiled egg is that it's convenient. Otherwise, every other method of cooking eggs is better. Spot the lie.
Deviled?
Sure.
You like deviled eggs?
Yeah. The old piglet makes deadly.
Oh, I bet she does.
Deadly.
But what? So what's different between the deviled egg and what you're having right now, Eddie?
Well, there's mayonnaise in the yolk.
Take the yolk out and add a little spices.
Spices. Weird. I thought you said earlier that you don't need any spices
I don't.
or anything on your food.
I'll pop these suckers raw just as they are.
Exactly. It's
They
nothing.
stink.
It serves no purpose other than convenience.
Would you heat those up in the microwave too?
No, I'll eat these ones cold. I got to hear this text.
Nils has followed up his earlier text with this. Doesn't matter if he leaves a mess. He's forcing others to live in his stink. I've grown up with a migraine condition where strong smells, be it too much perfume to microwave fish, actually leaves me sick for hours. If I was working at that gas station, I'd have to go home sick. I wouldn't try and fight Eddie. That's ridiculous. His actions are beneath contempt. Eddie is just showing how little he thinks of anyone who isn't him. He'd be a great ICE officer down south. Stanzi comes to your defense. So Nils is a Karen. I support you, Eddie. Not a big deal at all. Working on the road. It's the entire point of a truck stop. Can't tell me truckers won't use them if they were to bring their own lunch rather than the overpriced high guard subs.
Yeah, and the thing is, Duke and Fenny were getting on me for that. Man, I'm not looking to buy packaged sandwich crap every day for lunch. The whole reason I bring
never said you
a
had to
Tupperware
buy it,
is because
Eddie.
I like to be healthy.
What
and
about a drink?
I'll buy waters and stuff like Perrier's.
Eddie,
But
I
man,
never said you had to
part of
buy
the
that. You
reason
can
is-
take those with you. You can make
No,
them at
but
home
check
and
this
take
out.
them with you.
I don't want to spend money every day, Duke. If you're working in an office, use the microwave.
Where's
here.
the money
You're
being
not
spent in
spending
my
money.
example?
If I have to buy something to use the
I ne-
microwave.
In my situation, Eddie, you don't need to use their microwave because you're just taking a sandwich with you or a wrap that it can still be healthy. You don't need to go in
No,
and
but
use
you
a
brought up the
microwave.
point that I'm not even buying anything. I'm going in there and using the
that's
mic.
just extra on the side. The fact you're going in, you're not getting gas. You're not grabbing
I don't.
coffee
I
on the
don't.
go.
I don't do sandwiches though, Duke. I do meat and greens, man. Meat and greens. Meat and greens with some rice.
A ham and lettuce sandwich. What's in there? Meat and greens.
There's a difference between you and me, and
Yeah,
you-
I'm not a
you're
savage.
You're a sandwich guy, and I'm a broccoli and chicken type of guy, and it shows.
Eddie, you won't convince me about this. If I'm being very upfront, I think I am more in line with Neil's line of thinking here than I am with yours.
Oh, that's okay.
And I think Neil's is a little extreme with some of his phrasing and words used, but I think that is a psychopath type move.
Oh, that's totally okay, Duke. Do you use the microwave here at work in the office?
No,
you don't. But if you were working there, you have access to a microwave, and
This
you
is
don't
my
have
place,
to buy
this
something.
is my place of employment.
So mine is my car, and I frequent gas stations, especially gas stations I purchase gas at. No, I'm not buying every time gas, but Petro-Canada, for example, I'm a good Petro-Can customer. I don't feel bad for using a microwave. I spend enough thousands of dollars on gas there a year. I'll use a microwave.
MTR says Duke drills bread. He has a bread body and a milk body.
That's hey man, I eat meat and greens. I don't eat sandwiches.
You never had a sandwich.
I don't bring no man. I
You had banana
leftovers.
bread with an egg on it.
That was who gave me the banana bread.
I did.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then who took the extra slice of banana bread so I didn't get any? Oh, right, that was
I
Eddie.
did. I did. I was greedy. It was good. That end was very crispy.
But so when are you going to eat these eggs? So you open
I'm
the
gonna have
container.
I'm gonna have a couple down on the way to Elks Nation.
Yeah, you open the container and smell up the studio.
I only did that for you. You were grilling me. I wanted you to sit in that. This has been good. This is
Mike
got the emotions
Michael
going today.
Boulay says hard-boiled eggs only stink if you boil the life out of them. I'm with you, Eddie. Raw dog those hard-boiled eggs. Also, what about pickled eggs? Well, Eddie's had that too.
I guess we didn't answer the question though.
Lance says, I'm sorry, Duke, you were wrong. 100% on Eddie's side.
Thank you, Lance. I didn't like it. Duke thinks it's very egregious that I use the microwave. I never thought that it was that rude or that selfish that I use a gas station or a 7-Eleven
It's just,
microwave.
it all compounds together where you say, oh yeah, I go in and I'll buy something sometimes, like just a drink, like $2 on a bottle of water or a coffee. Sure, sometimes. I'm not saying you got to go in there and clean the place out of snacks and it's all unhealthy. But then you add on the fact that you have you don't hold back at all about cooking something in there that is going to stink out the entire convenience store.
Team Dean.
It all just keeps adding on to it that makes it more and more egregious.
Team Dean, LOL. Eddie's just digging that hole deeper every sentence.
And the whole reason that I'm bringing a lunch in a Tupperware is so I don't have to spend money. That's the whole reason. Or else I'd buy lunch every day.
Not Fred says, at least Kevin and Frank argue about sports, not microwave.
That's true. That's a good one.
Well,
the passions are flowing, guys. The passions are flowing.
That was a good conversation. We've spoken about the Oilers. We've spoken about the Jays for a couple hours here. We talk about something else for a few minutes.
That's okay.
People get mad. John says, you guys, if you want to listen to talk radio, it's supposed to be sports. Let's move along.
Well, we played sports.
Poor Eddie.
Getting flamed?
No, it's the same.
Oh, I don't.
Couple guys,
You
they're
don't
fine.
need to pour Eddie. Me, Kevin.
Yeah.
I'm a big boy.
Triple C says, go back to bed, John. Go back to bed. What do you got cooking here? Heading over to Elks
heading
Nation?
down. He's going to shoot Elks Nation with
well, that'll
Deck.
be.
It's
I
gonna be
mean,
a good
obviously
show.
with the the weekend and the combine, and
it's going to be a lot of content to bust down.
Declan was down there.
Yeah, he was.
lot, so
Yeah, he's going to have a lot to say. I'm looking forward to this one.
well, and again, how much do you like? How much stock do you put in? Like, if a guy has a great combine, does he move up a couple spots?
I think there's more of a chance that you can hurt your stock than have your
So the
stock
other way
rise.
around.
Exactly. You come out and you don't show out as well as you were hoping to, and then you can drop your stock. The other thing too with this combine, a lot of the top prospects didn't even participate. They had pro days and or they just chose not to run or take part in any event, and they'll still probably get drafted high because they're playing at American schools.
And we touched on this on Friday that there's, like, I mean, will there be a guy from the CIS drafted in the first round?
Here's hoping.
Like, I mean,
Here's hoping. Honestly,
that's got to be
know.
a concern, man.
Yeah, absolutely, it's a concern. Absolutely, it's a concern.
So, is it just one of those years, or what?
Well, this is a trend that we've seen here over the past few years. So you can't sit here and say it's a one-off because we've been seeing the momentum towards this grow.
Yeah. Yeah. To me, like, I mean, obviously since my days in Saskatoon, in the 30 some years ago, I mean, the Huskies are the big game in town. And now you see, like, again, I mean, I don't know who the top Golden Bear would be. Probably Carter Kettle, the receiver.
Yeah.
I mean, it used to be, there would always be a couple linemen from U of S or, and like, how about Laval?
We'll see. The thing with those Quebec kids too, they're older.
They're older. That's
yeah.
Yeah. They're, like, some of them are 24, 25
Oh
years
yeah,
old.
26 even.
Exactly.
Men.
Well, good show, Eddie.
KK,
enjoy your eggs.
I know you got my back and support me microwaving my lunch.
I don't care, to be honest with you.
Duke.
Yeah.
Duke had to chime in back there. Duke's PO'd at me.
That's In or Out, brought to you by Pro Solutions. Check them out at prosolutionsinc.ca. Well, Eddie, have a great week. Have a good shows there with Declan, and we'll see you on Monday, I guess. So
Thanks for reminding me. No show Friday.
No show Friday. Too bad you can't make it in for Thursday.
I know. I won't be in town.
Yeah, that's very disappointing. Very disheartening. Very disappointing.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. In the 9 o'clock hour, we got Michael Trakeless from the Hockey News at 9:20. Mark Anderson from the Associated Press in the 10 o'clock hour, as long as and as well as Jensen Lewis by the books on VSiN Live. We'll talk Jays, man. So many things to talk with Jensen about. The ABS first 3 days of what we saw with that new rule change and brought in. And boy, it was there was some critical calls that ended up having a major impact. Winning, losing games, strikeouts, walks, the whole bit. So that's coming up at 10:20. Before that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Fusion Promo Marketing. Expand your brand, high quality promotional products for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. Get noticed at fusionpromomarketing.ca. That's Fusion with a Z. Here is the Duke.
The Sports 1440 update.
Half dozen games across the NHL yesterday. Rangers topped the Panthers 3-1. Lightning beat the Predators 3-2. Habs over the Hurricanes 3-1. Bruins topped the Jackets 4-3 in a shootout. Devils over the Hawks 5-3. And Trevor Zegras OT winner as the Flyers beat Dallas 2-1. Off the ice, big waves as Vegas Golden Knights firing head coach Bruce Cassidy and replacing him with John Tortorella. Tortorella, Stanley Cup winner in 2004 and two-time Jack Adams Award winner as coach of the year. Speaking of the Flyers, signing last summer's 6th overall pick, Porter Martone, to an entry-level contract. Martone wrapped up a season at Michigan State where he had 25 goals, 50 points in 35 games. In the PWHL yesterday, Vancouver beat Toronto 3-2. Boston doubled up on Minnesota 4-2, and Seattle gets blanked by Ottawa 2-0. Edmonton Oil Kings even their first-round playoff series with the Saskatoon Blades. 4-3 overtime win yesterday from Rogers Place. Ethan McKenzie with the OT winner. And in the AJ playoffs, Canmore finishing off Calgary with a 4-0 win, and Drumheller forces a Game 7 against the Kodiaks, winning 4-3 in Camrose. Full set of games across the association, including the Raptors' second largest margin of victory in franchise history with a 139-87 win over Orlando. And March Madness, Elite 8 games. Michigan beating Tennessee 95-62, and Duke blowing a 19-point lead. UConn Huskies take it on the last-second shot, 73-72. Finally, in the majors, full slate again yesterday, including the Toronto Blue Jays finishing off the sweep of the Athletics, 5-2 the final from Toronto. Coming up in hour 3 of the Kevin Karius Show, we'll be joined by Michael Trakos from the Hockey News, and we'll hear from Cam Tate. I'm Brandon Douglas, Sector Sports, 1440 update.
This is Sports 1440,
A Stingray radio station.
broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique family-owned independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. We're the #1 dealer in the world. Just kidding. If we were, would you care? We're the #1 dealer in Canada. Still kidding. You probably still don't care. Tell you what you will care about, our March Madness sale going on right now. Discounts up to $30,000. And the grand opening of our Autoplex, a massive indoor showroom. No self-proclaimed titles, no iPads, no trips to Vegas or hockey jerseys, just a really good deal. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country. Summer, it's coming. An unstoppable force that will turn your home into the Sweatbox.
Don't live in a summer blockbuster. Pro Solutions is your one-call-solves-it-all expert for AC repairs, tune-ups, and new installations. With fast appointments and flexible financing, we'll make sure your home story has a comfortable ending. AC season is coming soon, so book today.
Lock in pre-season pricing today.
Visit prosolutionsinc.ca to schedule your service today.
Welcome to Silent Ice Center, the region's newest hockey and event center in Nisku. Featuring 2 NHL-size ice surfaces, premium seating, private suites, and an electric atmosphere. From elite hockey to major tournaments, concerts, and special events, this is where the action lives. And with Summit Restaurant overlooking the rink, every event is a full experience. Silent Ice Center, built for champions, built for the community. Book your ice, your event, or your next big night at Silent Ice Center. Email booking at silenticecenter.com.
One app, triple the action. Play Alberta is proof that good things do come in threes. Whether you're into playing any of our exciting casino games, betting on your favorite professional sports teams from around the world, or buying into Canada's biggest lotteries, Play Alberta is the province's only app to do it all. Download today and discover a new way to play.
Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Expand your brand with Fusion Promo Marketing. Fusion is your trusted partner for all things branded merch and apparel. Thousands of products perfect for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
Andrew Walker, host of the postgame show on Sports 1440. After every hockey game this season, tune in and chime in as we talk about the game. It's all sponsored by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Don't get left in the cold. Visit legacyheating.ca.
Ah, yes, Alberta in March. Green beer and slushy roads. Where the only thing worse than the roads is trusting them. If your brakes are squealing louder than a pub on game night, or your shocks feel like they found potholes instead of a pot of gold, it's time to go to Napa Auto Parts. With over 85 locations in Alberta, Napa has the quality parts, tools, equipment, and know-how to keep your ride smooth and feeling confident. More than lucky. Visit your local store today or visit online at napacanada.com. That's Napa Know-How.
For over 60 years, the folks at Diablo Boots have been selling the best Canadian-made boots. Handcrafted in Winnipeg, Canada West makes the best quality cowboy, biker, and work boots for Diablo Boots with replaceable soles and heels. Why buy cheaper quality like Ariat, Justin, and Red Wing made in China when Canadian-made is better? Support Canada's workers and Diablo Boots for the best boots. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Canada West and Diablo Boots, the two best names in the boots business.
Portions of this hour brought to you by the Edmonton Oilers. Oilers fans, season seats have never been easier. Sign up for first access to full, half, and quarter seats starting at only $28 per week by visiting EdmontonOilers.com/season seats.
Sports 1440. All sports, all day.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Thanks for listening to Edmonton's sports leader.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 9:13 in Edmonton. Quick little segment before we get to Michael Trakos from the Hockey News. Couple things that came in from on our text line just regarding John Tortorella, and we had that question in or out, and it was John Shannon reporting it as well. So the contract is just for this year, Duke, 8 games in the regular season and the playoffs. So
yeah, so thanks to Scott, because I had not seen that yesterday in my perusings of Twitter. Granted, I don't follow John, so that's completely on me, but I hadn't seen any of the other, call it insiders or whatever, and it wasn't in Vegas's release.
Mm-hmm.
So that does matter for sure, because then essentially it is an interim tag, or an interim job just without the title.
Exactly.
Which does matter. So it essentially just makes my point that that's what they should do, because it gives themselves more flexibility.
Like, do you think that, let's just say they have, what if they lose in the first round? And do you think the chances of him coming back, does it even matter?
Oh, I think it matters a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, I think if this doesn't work, like if there's no spark, it doesn't galvanize this group. And as Spec pointed out, right, there's not going to be any change in system or something. If it is, it's an insane move to try and do that with 8 games left in the year. Barring a noticeable difference in the way the team plays, I could absolutely see them saying, all right, thanks, we gave it a try. And is it at a point now for Vegas where they need to try a fresh face? Because as I said, they've only recycled coaches in their still very young franchise history, right?
And when you look at, Tortorella's been around a long time. Everyone knows that. But there are some franchises here, Duke, that are going the other way, like with maybe lesser known guys.
100%.
Like Wersofsky, Muse, all these guys.
It always goes back to, and I can't remember who it was. It probably was Frank. It was on the show at one point that said, how do you ever expect to find the next John Cooper if you never hire guys without any NHL experience?
Yeah. So, to be honest, like when Wersofsky was hired, no one really had even heard of him. And same with Muse too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
those are names that weren't they'd been listen, a lot of these guys, like are insiders, Frank and others. They've got lines on some of these guys, but for the average hockey fan, right? These are not names that are blowing up because they're not former big name NHLers that have transitioned into coaching and are applying their trade as assistants or something like that. They don't fit that mold. They're relative unknowns.
Like, take Quenneville out of the mix here, Duke. Because he was out of the game for a couple of years. So take him out of the mix. What high profile guy besides him and Tortorella? And again, as you mentioned, the word you use, recycling.
Yeah.
And these are coaches that have been around a long time. But when you think about it and compare it to, again, like the Wersofskys and the Muses, guys like that, where those aren't recycled coaches, but those are guys that are getting a chance, as you said. They're getting an opportunity. So, like even Warren says, but about like Chris Knobloch, same kind of thing. Knobber was around, in the minors for a number of years, I think, compared to, say, a Wersofsky, who's, Wersofsky's only 37 years old, I think. So, and there's another guy like Knobloch played pretty high level hockey. Wersofsky really didn't, so he's like a junior guy that ended up to be coaching right after. Same like, Paul Maurice is another example. He was playing in Windsor, ends up taking a puck or a stick to the eye, and then next thing you know, his playing career's over, but he gets into coaching right away. But he was, before he made the jump to Hartford and as an assistant, he was around, Detroit and Windsor for the CompuWare team for, a handful of years. So, again, we'll see what happens with Tortorella. And Duke said, you get the dead cat bounce. We'll see what kind of spark they get for the next 8 games. And we'll see what happens moving forward. But I mean, they need something. They needed something. They were one of the worst teams since the Olympic break in the last several weeks here. Hey, that's something we'll discuss with Michael Trakos from the Hockey News when we come back on the Kevin Karius Show. Brought to you by Sports Select, and it's so easy to play. We got the QR codes. You can do the paper selection slips as well. Just go to your local lotto spot retailer. It's 100% legal. You got to be 18 plus. Please play responsibly. We're back with Michael Trakos after the break. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM Radio. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch. Exciting news from St. Albert Dodge. The all-new 2026 Jeep Gladiator Sport packages have arrived. They have a great selection and a bunch of colors to choose from. And if you've checked out the Sport, you know it comes in some fun colors. Rugged capability, practical off-road features, and you can get behind the wheel for as low as $49,900. That's right. Put yourself in a brand new Jeep Gladiator Sport for less than $50,000. What more can you ask for? Time to head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
Business owners, if rising electricity costs are cutting into your profits, there's a smarter way forward. Right now, federal clean technology tax credits can cover 30 to over 50% of the cost of a commercial solar system, delivering an immediate return on your investment. And in Edmonton and Sturgeon County, the Commercial Clean Energy Improvement Program offers long-term financing for up to 20 years, making solar more affordable than ever. Lock in lower energy costs for decades and strengthen your bottom line. Visit GreatCanadianSolar.com to get started.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at EdmontonExpoCenter.com today.
A huge thank you for making Sports 1440 the most listened to sports radio station in Edmonton. From Gregor to Karius to Low Tide, we've got in-depth analysis on all your favorite sports. We are Sports 1440.
At Fountain Tire, the savings come in threes. Up to 25% off select tires, a mail-in rebate of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires, and $50 off $150 service. We're basically the VLT of savings. Until April 25th. Restrictions apply. Book today.
Remember 2025? That's so last year. But seriously, St. Albert Dodge needs to clear some 2025 models off the lot to make room for new inventory. So they're having a huge clear out of all the remaining new 2025 Jeep Wrangler Saharas. The Sahara package is the best seller, so they have a great selection to choose from and priced from as low as $59,900. I don't have to tell you, these are going to go fast. So get there before they are gone. Just head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
Fast track your financial goals with a special rate term deposit from Vision Credit Union. For a limited time, take advantage of a great rate on 1, 3, or 5-year terms. Plus, as a Vision Credit Union member, you can earn up to 25% more on your interest through profit shares. For details, contact your branch today or visit visioncu.ca. That's visioncu.ca.
Stories, guests, and insights. This is Sports 1440 and the Kevin Karius Show.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 9:21 in Edmonton. Time now for the headliner of the day, brought to you by Mr. Rooter Plumbing. The plumber to call when the toilet mysteriously breaks after your jalapeno pepper popper fueled game night with the fellas. That's MrRooter.ca as we welcome back Michael Trakos from the Hockey News. Morning, Michael. You're with Kevin Karius. Once again, thanks for jumping on Sports 1440 once again. Really appreciate it.
Hey, no, I'm glad we have something to talk about, right?
Yeah, we got tons to talk about. What did you make of the coaching change yesterday with John Tortorella taking over from Butch Cassidy in Vegas here, Michael?
I guess none of us should be surprised, Kevin. And yet, who wouldn't be surprised by this? Like, we're talking final weeks of the season and you're making a coaching change for a team that is pretty much locked in my opinion, on making the playoffs. I know, they've got some teams chasing them from behind, but if I thought that Bruce Cassidy was going to lose his job, I'd be shocked. If you told me that like a week ago, and if you told me that the guy who was succeeding him was going to be John Tortorella, I'd be doubly shocked. So, this one kind of came out of right field. No one was predicting it. Butch is a great coach, but what we know from him, especially during his time in Boston, is that his shelf life is a bit shorter than most coaches. He's a demanding coach. That level of demand led to a Stanley Cup for Vegas. So there is a reward there for being a hard-nosed coach, but it looked like something was happening with Vegas this year. Obviously, Mitch Marner, a great concern for a lot of Toronto fans, not having the season that I think a lot of Vegas fans were expecting him to have, and the offense hasn't been there. Obviously, they've struggled with the goaltending, and when you look at Vegas going into the playoffs, you're not looking at a team that many of us would have predicted as a championship contender.
What kind of spark do you think that Tortorella will have moving forward here for these final 8 games of the regular season, Michael?
I don't know. I think there's a perception of Tortorella as sort of a coach that, he can be incredibly tough on players. And then you talk to some people. I remember when he, was in Columbus, I remember talking to Mike Johnson with TSN, and, even Mike was saying that, the perception of Tortorella isn't exactly what the players inside the room think of him. So he can be a guy that is very direct, but is also very open and honest. And I think for some players, they appreciate the honesty. He'll tell you exactly what he expects of you. And, maybe for some players, it will be a breath of fresh air for them. I just, I don't know how much of a change you're expecting to get out of him. This is a team, I think, that, I don't know how a coach fixes the goaltending. And, you can look at the offensive weapons and say, okay, they need to score a little bit more, but, what's he going to do with the goaltending? And, I think that's the challenge. And it looks like they're going to be going up against the Edmonton Oilers. We saw that game last week. Edmonton looks like they match up pretty well with Vegas. And, that's a team that, handled Vegas pretty handily last year in the playoffs. So it will be kind of interesting to see how much of a coaching bump Vegas can get out of this.
Yeah. So you don't think, Michael, that even the Kings, there's 76 points. Vegas is at 80. LA's got a game in hand. No chance the Kings could catch them?
I wouldn't say no chance, but, I don't know how you feel, Kevin, but it's so hard to make up ground in the NHL. 4 points doesn't sound like a lot. And, you're talking about a game in hand as well. But at the same time, right now it's a turtles race for the standings. It's incredibly hard to kind of pick up ground or lose ground in the standings. And, I got to believe Vegas is going to make the playoffs. What they do from there, is anyone's guess. But, I guess that's what you're hoping out of Torts, is that, he can get you not only in the playoffs, but, reignite some of that passion that may have been lost this season.
Michael Tracos with us on the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440. Any other team that's below the cut line? Do you think any other team like a Seattle or even Winnipeg making a late push here? Do you think anyone can sneak in here?
Winnipeg. I was hoping Winnipeg was going to make a late push. Personally, I just want to see as many Canadian teams as possible. But again, same reason I just described. Like, they just seem like too much ground to cover right now. Like, even if they run the table, it's, they're going to need a lot of help as well. I think the way the standings are situated right now, I think this is what we're going to see, to be honest. And, it's unfortunate because you look at the West and, we keep talking about this. The Central is just loaded, with the top 3 teams there, and they're all on fire, and each one of them looks like a Stanley Cup contender. And what did Connor McDavid say about the Pacific? It's a pillow fight, and it's looking that way in the Pacific. It's looking that way in the Metro as well. If I had to guess, though, I still think Edmonton has an outside chance of just doing something special in the playoffs, because, when you've got the best player in the world and arguably another top 3, at the very least a top 5 player in Draisaitl when he gets healthy, this is a team that I think can, do something special once again, but we'll see. Me personally, like, just going back to the coaching change, last week I was expecting the Oilers to make this kind of move and for Vegas to kind of get the jump on them. I wonder if there's people within the Oilers organization saying, oh, geez, should we have been maybe a little bit more ruthless, and maybe we should have, gone out and got a Peter DeBoer, and, he's still out there. Obviously he wasn't going to go back to Vegas. I don't think that was going to work, but, I wonder if there's some people in Edmonton saying, did we just kind of, should we have pulled the trigger as well? Because, this is a year where outside of Colorado and, maybe Tampa, maybe not even Tampa, but outside of Colorado, it feels like this is as wide open as a postseason as we're going to see in recent memory.
I have to say, though, too, Michael, I think it's a lot of outside noise regarding what you were just talking about with, say, Chris Knobloch. I don't think that was ever on the table here. I really don't. I don't think it was ever a thought from Stan Bowman to make a coaching change. I don't think it was ever there.
So what's the expectations in Edmonton? You literally have to win the cup this year, right?
That's the way it goes because they've been so close the last 2 years. But for me, I've always said, too, if you get to the Final Four, I think it's a successful season. That's how tough it is to win, as everyone knows. But for the Oilers, they've never had a path right now since Connor McDavid arrived here. This is their easiest path to get to the Final Four.
Easily, yeah. Just to get to the conference final, you're right. It's never been this easy. At the same time, you're going to be facing, it looks like a Vegas team that, just on paper, they're a scary team. They've got stars up and down the lineup, and now they've got a coach that is going to be trying to get them to run through a wall. The one last thing I'll say about Coach Tortorella, it seems like, Evan, like, he's better suited for a team that doesn't have the star talent, that you can kind of convince them to say, hey, listen, we're not going to be able to match up against the Edmontons or the Colorados, but, if you all pull in the same direction and just start playing outside of your comfort zone, we can kind of surprise some teams. Now he's going into a situation where, he's got Hall of Famers up and down the lineup, and now you're going to tell them, okay, you're going to have to grind your way to some wins, and you're going to have to play outside your comfort zone. You're going to have to start blocking shots and doing all those little things that you probably haven't been doing this year. I don't know if that's necessarily going to be the right fit for him. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll see. But, to your point about Edmonton, this is as easy as a path, on paper as they've ever had in recent years. We'll see. Ultimately, I think you still got to get through the Central, and whether that's Colorado or Dallas or maybe even Minnesota, that's going to be the real challenge.
Yeah, we'll let those guys beat each other up for a couple rounds and then take it from there. But, Torts had some star power when he won in Tampa, though, too, Michael. So,
yeah, not to this degree. Like, he had a pretty good team, I would say, and with the Rangers, and that didn't work out. I guess the Canucks, on paper at the time, they were looking like they still had a chance at, contending, and that didn't work out. I almost feel like, it's those teams in like Columbus or even Philadelphia where he almost got them into a playoff spot with a bunch of, quote unquote, nobodies. That's where he was best suited. But we'll see. Like, again, a lot of us in Toronto are all just kind of snickering right now because, if you had told us, like, Mitch Marner was going to get his new coach fired before his old coach got fired, no one would have taken them that bet. But here we are. Craig Berube still got a job, and Butch Cassidy, who's arguably a top 5 coach in the NHL. I don't think he's going to be out of work that long, or he'll be out of work as long as he wants to be, because there's going to be teams knocking on his door. Maybe Toronto will probably be one of them, and we'll see what happens in the summer. Maybe Edmonton. If they don't go as far as I think a lot of us are hoping or expecting them to go, they could also be in the in pursuit of a new head coach. But it's tough. What a ruthless organization that is in Vegas when you think about how many players, coaches, and just personnel they've lost over the years on their own doing. It's a great place to play. At the same time, boy, oh boy, I wouldn't want them signing my paychecks.
Michael Tracos with us on Sports 1440. One more Oiler question for you before we talk about out east in the playoff race there. Evan Bouchard, what do you make of his season? Where would you have him on your Norris Trophy ballot?
I was on a show last week saying he's number one on my ballot.
Wow.
Yeah. Points matter. And, you can say whatever you want about the Norris. It's a defenseman's award. Give me a break. Recent years, this has been going to, the most dynamic offensive point producer in the NHL. And, the best defense is a great offense. And Evan Bouchard, for whatever reason, he's got this knack of being terrible defensively. I don't think he's any worse than, some of the best defensemen in the NHL. Like, you watch Cale Makar on a nightly basis, he's going to make mistakes. The difference might be that he's got a Devontae's playing next to him that kind of helps out when he does when Makar does make the mistake, or he's got a goaltender that'll save his bacon. But for what Bouchard's been doing offensively, scoring big goals, and just the amount of offense he's been producing, I don't know how you leave him off a ballot.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if he's going to win the Norris, but at least he should be in the top three.
Yeah, totally agree with you. Michael Tracos with us. So out east, man, this is turning into just an absolute thrilling race, and Philadelphia's come into the mix now, just 2 points back with Detroit and Ottawa, 2 back of Columbus for that last wild card spot. And obviously those teams can make some noise in the Met as well, moving up with Pittsburgh at 88 as well. If you say that in the West, Michael, that you kind of thought that this is how it's going to boil down, how do you see the East? Is there someone below this cut line that's going to knock someone out? What are your thoughts there?
I don't know. Every day it changes so dramatically. If there's a team I'm worried about, it's not even a wild card team right now, Kevin. It's, the Penguins and the Islanders. Like, they're number 2 and number 3 in the Metro. And yet, the Islanders are 3 points up of Ottawa. And Pittsburgh's only 2 points up. So both those teams are susceptible in my mind. If I had to say, like, is there a team outside the cut line right now? I think Ottawa makes it. Who do they take out? I hope they don't take out Columbus, because I love Rick Bowness and that story that, him going into the Blue Jackets and turning that team around. But I think that's the team that I'm looking at, and possibly as, maybe being the odd man out. But who knows? Columbus could end up, unseating the Islanders, and they could end up falling.
How did Philadelphia get back in the mix here? Because they're knocking on the door here too.
I don't know. It looked like Rick Tocchet was going to lose his job for the way he was handling Matvei Michkov. Everyone was saying, how can this coach come in and, destroy this young man's confidence? And here we are now at the end of March going, all right, Rick Tocchet's doing a really good job. Maybe he should be a Jack Adams a candidate here. But I don't know. You look at that roster, it's nothing to write home about. They're going to get Porter Martone possibly for the end of the season, which is really exciting. I can't wait to see this young man play. But, this has just been like a workman-like culture that Tocchet's cultivated. And, this is sort of the idea of, if you're not going to play your young guys, or you're going to come at them hard and have them in your doghouse, this is why you do it, is to instill a culture where everyone has to be kind of pulling in the same direction. It's the culture that, honestly, John Tortorella left behind in Philly. Like, this was what he was advocating for. And I guess that's why maybe Vegas is, interested in bringing him there. Maybe a lot of these guys in Vegas need to be kind of, taken down a notch, especially going into the playoffs. They have to be reminded again that, there's no substitute for hard work. But I think with Philly, I think that's all it is. It's just guys willing to kind of work hard for 60 minutes, and, slowly but surely they've been climbing up the standings.
How much noise do you think Montreal can make in the playoffs, Michael?
I think it's going to come down to the goaltending. And if the goaltending holds up, and we'll see which goaltending we're talking about, like whether it's Fowler, whether it's Dobish, or whoever, but they've got the offense. Cole Caulfield's having a fantastic year. Nick Suzuki from the Olympic on, he's just been fantastic. I think he's, my pick for the Selke. They've got a lot of size. Their defense looks a lot better. Marty St. Louis just done a fantastic job, but I think really it's going to come down to the goaltending. And, if they go with a Jacob Fowler, we're talking about a real young guy who doesn't have the experience, but it's worked for Montreal in the past. Like Carey Price was the same age basically when he made his debut with the Habs. You go back to the Ken Dryden days, they had a young goalie there. So, this is an organization that has at least a track record for doing this, but, it's tough, for Montreal to go far. They're going to have to get through Tampa, and Tampa Bay for me is just such a juggernaut. There's no weak spots in that roster.
One last one with the Toronto Maple Leafs. What kind of sweeping changes do you think we'll see once this season ends?
Oh boy. Someone asked me to put a percentage number on it, like how much of a roster / management personnel changeover. And I said, probably 70%. And we got a couple of chuckles out of it. And I said, honestly, like who would you bring back? And for me, I think it starts with Treliving. I think he's got to go out the door. And then after that, it's the head coach. Now that you've got DeBoer and Bruce Cassidy available, it makes that decision a lot easier. But, the big challenge is going to be convincing some of these guys to waive their new no-move clause. Morgan Riley has been such a soldier, good soldier for the Toronto Maple Leafs, but it's clear that he's at the end of his line with this team and potentially at his career. I think he's got to go out. I think you've got to, see if there's a market for, some of your veterans there, like an Oliver Ekman-Larsson, maybe some guys like that. But it's going to be difficult. You've got 2 more years after this year of Austin Matthews. And if he doesn't like or doesn't see this team turning around in quick fashion, then he's going to be out the door too. So maybe that's another guy that you consider moving now while he's still got a couple more years on a contract before he signs his next big ticket.
Do you think Peter DeBoer might surface as a possible head coach there?
I think so. He's from the area. I just, if the Toronto Maple Leafs are going to be in a full rebuild and it doesn't look like they're going to be a playoff team next year, I wonder if getting a DeBoer at this juncture makes sense. Maybe he's a guy that you want 2 years from now. So it's going to be about, I think, what the Leafs are looking at for next year. Are they looking at a lottery pick, or are they looking to get back into the dance? If it's back into the dance, I'd hire DeBoer. If it's going for the lottery pick, then I think it doesn't matter who you got coaching.
Yeah. Great stuff, Michael. Always appreciate you coming on. Take care, and we'll talk soon.
All right. Thanks so much, Kevin.
That's Michael Trakos from the Hockey News. And our headliner of the day brought to you by Mr. Rooter, the #1 overall pick in your fantasy plumbing pool. That's MrRooter.ca. When we come back, we'll get to some of your texts and the first edition of Cam and Eggs as we welcome Cam Tate to the morning show. That's right after the break. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM radio, presented by Sports Select. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
The Brick semi-annual sale is back with prices so low they only last until March 30th. Save up to 30% off sofas, sectionals, and recliners, up to 40% off select mattresses, and up to 30% off bedroom and dining furniture. Plus, buy more, save more, up to 15% off select major appliances. Plus, elevate your outdoors with up to 20% off outdoor furniture. Some exclusions apply. Visit thebrick.com for details. The Brick, saving you more.
Legacy Heating and Cooling sucks. Yeah, Legacy can now suck your ducts with professional duct cleaning, furnace cleaning, and dryer vent cleaning.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
When you need the filth sucked from your air ducts.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
When you want cleaner air for your family.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Legacy now offers air duct cleaning. Book in today. Just call Legacy.
Summer, it's coming. An unstoppable force that will turn your home into the Sweatbox.
Don't live in a summer blockbuster. Pro Solutions is your one-call solves-it-all expert for AC repairs, tune-ups, and new installations. With fast appointments and flexible financing, we'll make sure your home story has a comfortable ending. AC season is coming soon, so book today.
Lock in pre-season pricing today.
Visit ProSolutionsInc.ca to schedule your service today.
This is Andrew Walker, host of the postgame show on Sports 1440. After every hockey game this season, tune in and chime in as we talk about the game. It's all sponsored by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Don't get left in the cold. Visit legacyheating.ca.
Looking for auto parts without the dealership price tag? You'll save big here at Ed's Auto Salvage in Westlaw. From engines and alternators to doors and glass, we carry quality tested used parts at unbeatable prices. Why spend thousands when you can spend hundreds? Keep your car and your budget running strong with Ed's Auto Salvage. I'm Lisa, inviting you to stop in soon or visit us online. We offer province-wide shipping and daily delivery to Edmonton. edsautosalvage.com.
It's happened again, and construction season is coming soon. Job delayed, money lost, and clients disappointed because your rigging failed and it wasn't inspected. Don't let this happen to you. Have your lifting slings, fittings, hoisting tools, and safety harnesses checked with Titan Supply. Titan Supply offers certified on-site and in-house rigging inspections and service, so they can repair it, replace it, and recertify it. Titan Supply in Edmonton, Grand Prairie, Red Deer, and Calgary, and at titansupply.ca. Lift, dig, haul.
Start thinking spring road trips and off-road trips in your new Subaru Crosstrek. Stylish, rugged, and so many features. Standard on every Crosstrek. Subaru symmetrical all-wheel drive, EyeSight driver assist technology, heated seats, and LED steering responsive headlights. Plus, with interest rates from 0.99%, you'll love the affordable weekly payments. No waiting, immediate delivery available. Subaru Crosstrek. Visit Subaru.ca. Welcome to Uncommon. Welcome to Subaru.
Your game,
Your station, Sports 1440.
and watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 944 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenrick with you on a Monday morning. So glad you're with us here on Sports 1440 AM radio. So many things happened on the weekend, and on Friday, even like Tiger Woods gets into the big accident again. Thankfully, no one was injured in this one, but I mean, guy's a bad driver. He's just a bad driver. There was talk. I don't know if he's still thinking or possibly going to play in the Masters. Maybe that's a no-go now. He says his body can't take it really, though, and that is a tough walk. I mean, Augusta's, you don't understand how hilly Augusta is, but, for him, I don't even know if he can handle it, to be honest with you, but he's just, again, a terrible driver. Hey, time for our inaugural edition of Cam and Eggs. So Cam Tate's joining the morning show. Duke, he sent me a text. Hey, is a minute and a half too long last night? I go, no, come on now, Cam. I think he was trying to whittle her down to get it to a minute. And he says, the first edition here is a minute and a half. So, he could go 2 minutes. I don't care what Cam does, but we're excited to have him on. And so it's a little segment called Cam and Eggs, and here's the very first edition of it.
So, how do you like your eggs? Exciting day at the Sports 1440 studio. Took a cab over here. Thought I recognized my driver, so I asked him. Nah, he says, it's his first day on the job. Then, all of a sudden, holy smokes, it's Bruce Cassidy. What a crew we have here. Look forward to working with them. We've got Josh Fenwick, president of the Calgary Flames fan club, the Duke of Delburne, but we hear he might run for the town's mayor, and we'll ask King Phil, not Dr. Phil, no, King Phil from the Buckingham Palace to swear him in. And Kevin Karius, who told me he's going to the bank today. Oh yes, the bank. His banker said he should come get more overdraft. Kevin said, sure, I love every kind of beer. But the biggest thing We're going to talk sports, the good, the bad, the ugly, the heroes, the goats, and the what the hell was that? We're going to try, but not promise, to make it funny. And we're going to try to help you get the day going on the right foot. I need to thank a few people. Jason Greger and Karius here at Sports 1440 for agreeing to let me join the morning show, something I have always wanted to do since a gentleman named Eddie Keene on 630 CHE. Eddie wrote 2 editorials a day. Back then in 1972, he inspired me to become a writer and one day have 2 segments a day on the radio. For the past 2.5 years, I've been writing the 2-minute warning on the Greger Show weekday afternoons. Now I'm on the morning show. So on this Monday, can you, and only you, achieve one of your dreams? Cam and Eggs, back tomorrow, we think. This is Cam Tate, Sports 1440.
Oh, Caminator. Thanks, big fella. So it's going to be exciting to have Cam on the morning show. And again, you hear him daily with the 2-minute warning in the afternoon on Greg's show. So excited to have Cam in the fold. And Duke, you thanks for doing that. And I mean, he sends you it's not nothing too crazy.
Oh no, Cam does it all himself.
Yeah.
He writes it and gets the I don't know if it's an AI software or just some sort of voiceover software to do it, and he produces it all himself too. So he essentially sends me the audio file. He was asking me when I want it. I said the night before is probably best, but if it's first thing in the morning and you're scrambling to get her put together, we'll squeeze it in, and it's not necessarily going to be at the same time every day. We'll kind of move it around the show so people listening at different times get a piece of it. And I'm looking forward to have Tater, and he's got a wicked sense of humor. So the fact he's looking to try and implement a little bit more of that into this morning show segment, I'm very excited to hear them day to day.
Text 833-401-1440. Kmart says, "Hey KK, how about this? Tiger's a billionaire. Hire a freaking driver." I mean, it's probably time, don't you think? Yes. He should have he should never even be behind the wheel ever. He should be sitting in the back, whatever. Tiger says, texting in, "The only thing I know about Augusta is what KK said about all the manure." I didn't say it was manure, Tiger. I said it smelled like manure because it was basically when I was there in 2005, it rained a lot. And what happened was they used so much fertilizer. So it rained, and then all the traffic, all the foot traffic, it kind of created like friction with the fertilizer all over the place. And then it rained, got hot, and it smelled honestly like a pig barn. That's how bad it was. That's how bad it was. So that was in 2005 when I was there with old Teddy Evans. Gen X Jeff says, "Hey, Eddie Keene went on to 630 Ched in 1976. Helped my dad with a bad car deal at a local car dealership." Well, it was good that Cam mentioned Eddie Keene. That's a long time ago, in the 70s when he was there. Duke, what do you make of Tiger Woods there with his...
I don't know. What is there left to say, right? And I'm with you, Kevin. I think any possible potential notion of him playing at Augusta is now out the door after this, because you just know that the press will have a field day with it if he's there and having to answer some questions about it. Like this text about, and you and I were chatting about it with Eddie off air earlier. Like, why, if Tony Soprano gets driven everywhere, why can Tiger Woods not get driven everywhere? It doesn't make any sense to me when people have that many available resources and that's what they do.
No idea. And everyone, obviously a lot of articles and perspective about his addiction to painkillers. You can see it in him. And he talks about how banged up his body is. And you mentioned it too, Duke. It was the first car accident, like the rollover, when he was serious.
Well, not the first car accident, because remember during the original scandal, his wife ran him over.
Wow.
Allegedly. Sorry.
I thought she just didn't she take a 9-iron?
Well, that was part of it too. But and the only thing, because I was still relatively young ish at the time. Like I was in junior high when that happened because it was around 09 or something, right? I just remember the SNL skit with Kenan Thompson playing Tiger Woods. He's like, if you can believe this, I actually ran myself over with my own car. And it's like, well, and that was essentially the story somehow that he like got out and like rolled over. Like, no, I think your wife tried to hit you with your car. But once again, I digress. The more recent one that he came back from, like he almost lost his leg because the accident was so severe and he was so injured. But got past that. And now, as you mentioned, like thankfully nobody, let alone himself, was hurt in this one. It was a relatively minor accident, but it's still just flabbergasting that it continues to happen.
Like he probably was on his phone or something, right? I mean,
I don't know.
Who knows? But yeah, again, I think when Tiger plays at Augusta, we understand that he's not the golfer that he was, and he's never going to win again. But people are there's more hype. People are watching the ratings in every tournament that he plays. The ratings increase. He's a draw in the gallery, obviously, the patrons at Augusta. So I think a lot of people were hoping that they might see him maybe one last time. And I don't think it's going to end up to be that way. Text 833-401-1440. In the NHL tonight, we've got 5 games on the go. One of them is the Vegas Golden Knights in action, and they are home to the Vancouver Canucks tonight. And obviously the coaching debut for John Tortorella behind the bench. So he takes over from Butch Cassidy yesterday, and he goes right into the fire here tonight. Albeit, again, the lowly Vancouver Canucks. Also on the docket, massive game between the Pittsburgh Penguins and the New York Islanders. Calgary is in Colorado to take on the Avalanche. The Maple Leafs, the Oilers looking for a little favor from Toronto. They take on the Anaheim Ducks tonight in Anaheim. And then it's the Blues and Sharks. Those two teams kind of fading a little bit in the Western Conference standings. The Sharks, they were close. But the Blues still trying to make something happen. They've won 4 in a row. The Sharks picked up a victory the other day, so they ended, I think they had lost 4 or 5 in a row. So we'll see exactly where things shake down. And how about the Winnipeg Jets? Just 3 points back of Nashville, and all of a sudden the Predators are making things interesting because they were on a roll, but now they've lost 3 games in a row. So that's on the docket tonight. We will bust down that Vegas game with the Canucks with Mark Anderson from the Associated Press, covers the Vegas Golden Knights, and obviously get his thoughts on the coaching change in Vegas as well. Before that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by AWS Welding Supplies in Nisku. Product sales, servicing, calibrating, free same-day delivery of in-stock items to Leduc, Nisku, and South Edmonton. Your one-stop shop for all things welding. That is awswelding.ca. Here is the Duke.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Five games across the NHL tonight. The Islanders take on the Penguins. Avalanche hosting the Flames. Vancouver in Vegas. It'll be John Tortorella's debut behind the Golden Knights bench after taking over for Bruce Cassidy yesterday. Toronto in Anaheim against the Ducks, and the Nightcap San Jose Sharks playing host to the St. Louis Blues. 8 games in the association, including Atlanta hosting Boston. Phoenix is in Memphis. The Spurs up against Chicago. Cleveland taking on Utah. OKC hosting Detroit. And the Lakers at home for the nightcap against the Washington Wizards. MLB season rolling on. Toronto Blue Jays open up a new set against the Colorado Rockies from Rogers Center. First pitch coming just after 5 o'clock. Cody Ponce will make his Blue Jays debut on the bump. Elsewhere, Minnesota's in KC. Baltimore hosting Texas. Pittsburgh in Cincinnati. 6 Phillies taking on Washington. Tampa Bay and Milwaukee. Houston playing Boston. Yankees are in Seattle. And the Dodgers kick off things against the Cleveland Guardians. Coming up in hour 4 of the Kevin Karius Show, we'll be joined by Mark Anderson from the Associated Press covering the Vegas Golden Knights. and former MLB pitcher Jensen Lewis. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray Radio Station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Mr. Rooter kinda speaks French.
Je m'appelle Monsieur Rooter. Je suis plombier.
Très bien, Mr. Rooter. Your name is Mr. Rooter, and you are in fact a plombier, a plumber. You are an excellent student.
Au contraire, mon frère, je suis un excellent étudiant. Also, I'm not here for a French lesson. I'm here because someone clogged up the toilets.
Ah, oui, right this way.
For a plumber who speaks your language, call Mr. Rooter.
This hockey season, before every game, check out the pregame show with Andrew Walker on Sports 1440. It's brought to you by Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. We're the #1 dealer in the world. Just kidding. If we were, would you care? We're the #1 dealer in Canada. Still kidding. You probably still don't care. Tell you what you will care about, our March Madness sale going on right now. Discounts up to $30,000. And the grand opening of our Autoplex, a massive indoor showroom. No self-proclaimed titles, no iPads, no trips to Vegas or hockey jerseys, just a really good deal. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at edmontonexpocentre.com today.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
Oh, Canada. Jiffy Lube is here to keep you moving through mornings like these. Full synthetic oil changes, quality Pennzoil products, tire checks, battery tests, and everything else your car needs to get through our winters. Stop by Jiffy Lube for fast, easy, warranty-approved service. No appointment, no hassle. Just dependable service right when you need it. Jiffy Lube, keeping you moving through this. Fast track your financial goals with a special rate term deposit from Vision Credit Union. For a limited time, take advantage of a great rate on 1, 3, or 5-year terms. Plus, as a Vision Credit Union member, you can earn up to 25% more on your interest through profit shares. For details, contact your branch today or visit visioncu.ca. That's visioncu.ca.
Just in time for the morning skate. This is the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 10:01 in Edmonton. Time to talk a little Vegas Golden Knights hockey with Mark Anderson from the Associated Press. Good morning, Mark. You're with Kevin Karius. Thanks for jumping on Sports 1440 this morning. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on, Kevin. I appreciate that.
Yeah, so, I mean, what an announcement yesterday with the coaching change and Bruce Cassidy fired and John Tortorella coming in here. Mark, what's the reaction been in Vegas here for the last 24 hours or so? Because this seemingly came out of nowhere to make the coaching change this late in the season.
Yeah, I think Golden Knights fans are used to their team making big moves, but this even surprised them from what I've been able to gather. I know it surprised me. I'm not shocked they decided to move on from Bruce Cassidy, but I thought if it was going to happen, it'd be after the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I know management's disappointed. They felt like the team hasn't played up to expectations, and it hasn't. I'm also not convinced that the roster was put together in the right way. they've got their probably two best players, Jack Eichel and Mitch Marner, are playmakers. They don't really have a guy you can really count on to do a lot of goal scoring. I think that's that's the big element they're missing, and their goaltending has not been great this season. To put it mildly.
Yeah.
So Bruce has taken the fall, but I think he's an outstanding coach. I think he got as much out of this team, the time he was here as you would expect. And whoever hires him will get a great coach. And from a personal standpoint, I love dealing with Bruce.
Yeah.
He was just tremendous to media. So we'll see what Tortorella can do. I mean, he'll definitely bring a different element to the locker room.
What kind of coaching bump do you think that the club will get here starting tonight against Vancouver?
Yeah, I'm curious to see. I think, I thought they'd probably win tonight's game regardless, going in. But, coaching change, you often get that initial surge, but we'll see. I mean, the Golden Knights are the better team. They should win the game. They're at home. But I think the players know what's on the line. They went from first in the division to third, and now trying to have to stave off the Kings. So I mean, they understand the urgency of what's going on. But so I don't question their effort anyway. It's just I'm curious to see what kind of changes he might make. If Aiden Hill was Bruce Cassidy decided Aiden Hill was going to be the starting goalie from here on, and we'll see where that goes now. That may not necessarily be the case. Carter Hart's back on the ice, so we'll see when he's going to return. And we'll see what kind of line changes that Tortorella might make too.
Yeah, Mark Anderson with us on the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440. So, what is it about Aiden Hill's game that it's just sort of fallen off a cliff here, Mark?
It's not really all on him. The defense has allowed a lot of high danger chances. They played, in fact, the last game against Edmonton, there were 3 goals at least. Edmonton scored, 3 of the 4 goals that Aiden Hill was kind of left out to dry on. So I hate putting it all on him, but at the same time, he hasn't been making the big saves. He'll make an occasional big one, but he hasn't basically put the team on his back like sometimes a goalie needs to do. And that's been, I think, the big complaint. When they won the Cup 3 years ago, he did that. You could count on him making save after save, and it just felt like it was such a huge advantage for the Golden Knights that season because all they needed to score was 2 or 3 goals, and they felt pretty good about their chance to win. Now, you don't really feel good about their chance to win unless they score 4 goals, and that's a lot to ask. So, he's always been. He's got a history of being injury prone. He's got a history of being inconsistent. So the further we get away from 2023, it makes it look like that was more of a lightning in the bottle type run he had. But we'll see. I mean, he's also had moments like last season going to last year's playoffs, and in the playoffs themselves, he actually played really well. So he has had moments he's played well, and so if he goes on a 5-game stretch where he gives up a couple goals per game or 1.5 goals per game, I wouldn't be shocked by that either. But he certainly needs to up his play.
Mark Anderson with us on the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440. When you look at the goaltending as a whole, how much better has Schmid been over Hill, in your opinion?
Marginally better. It's not like he's clearly been better. I mean, and I could see why Bruce Cassidy went with Aiden Hill. Aiden Hill he should be their number 1 goalie. He's paid like the number 1 goalie. And he's got the track record to prove that he's capable of doing that. So I completely understand why he did that. But it's not like Schmid has been lights out either. So he's just been a little bit better, a little bit more consistent. But if you're talking about a higher upside, I'd probably go with Aiden Hill.
Right. On the back end, everyone thought that Rasmus Andersson was going to be a really good fit when they acquired him from Calgary. What is it about maybe his integration into the team that's not up to snuff and maybe not as good as they thought he was going to be?
Yeah, it's especially with him rejoining Noah Hannafin, his former teammate. there was a feeling that he would fit right in, but for whatever reason, it just hasn't been the case. I think it must be just some sort of comfortability thing. I really can't put my finger on it. Maybe it's just the system he's not quite comfortable with. I don't know. Maybe Tortorella will unlock it with him. Anderson has played a little bit better recently, but he hasn't been the impact player they were hoping to get. And sending out White Cloud for him, that was a big move by the Golden Knights because White Cloud has been such a dependable player for them. So I think management's still hopeful that he will get there. It just may not be the next season.
How would you assess how Mitch Marner's played for the Golden Knights this year, Mark?
Well, he's as far as the playmaker, I think he's been kind of what they thought he would be. I just don't think he's, if you're looking for him to be a goal scorer, that's just not his game. And he has done a pretty good job of moving between center and wing. They played him but both depending on the situation. So I think he's handled that pretty well. And there are times that he looks like, this is why they paid him the big money. But I just think if fans were hoping he'd be a 40-goal scorer or something like that, that's not him. And I just don't think that's ever going to be him. So, Eichel was already their big playmaker, and Eichel's a better goal scorer. So you basically have two of the same player, and I'm just not sure. I'm not sure getting him really addressed what they needed. If they were going to get some Toronto, they might have been better off getting Austin Matthews. That might have been a better fit for them.
Yeah. And then, as you said, Jack Eichel's got 25 goals, but he's more of a playmaker as well, even though he has the ability to put the puck in the net. Is it just again too many playmakers, not enough goal scorers when you look at the makeup of the top six?
That's what I think. Yeah, and that's just Eichel's nature too, and he's acknowledged that. He's acknowledged that he should be more aggressive, and there are times when he is aggressive. He's outstanding, but I think it's just in his nature that he likes to set up his teammates, and he's a great passer. But there are times where he will have a point blank shot on the goalie, and he'll pass it off to one of his teammates, and well, Jack, just take the shot, and he just doesn't do it, but yeah, I think that's the biggest problem with this roster. I just don't think they have a guy they can rely on to be a goal scorer. They have guys who are decent at it. Dorothea's, especially on the power play, has been fantastic at times. Mark Stone has, has moments when he's been great, and they have good goal scorers, but they don't have someone like a Connor McDavid or Leon Draisaitl or someone like that you can say they had that when they had Marchessault. When Marchessault was on the team, when they needed a big goal, it seemed like he stepped up almost every time. Since he's been gone, that's really been missing from their game, and I just don't think they have that one player they can rely on to produce when they need to.
Yeah, and as you said, like Dorofeev's got 34 goals, so he's having a good season there. But is he more of a liability defensively?
Probably so. Yeah. So but the way he plays, on the power play, that's where he's just the most effective. I think he's 16 power play goals, something like that. So that's where he's the most dangerous, and he's a rarity for this team. He's actually a homegrown talent. He's the best homegrown talent they've had. One of the rare draft picks they didn't trade away. So, but yeah, that was the thing under Cassidy. You could usually count on a great defense, and the defense just hasn't been there this season. And I don't know. I don't know if it's maybe part an aging roster. You got a lot of guys who are in their 30s, and even Eichel's starting to get up there a little bit. So that may be it. But when they won the Cup, the defense and goaltending was the major reasons why they did it.
Yeah, I was surprised. I don't think we saw Dorofeev when the Oilers played the Golden Knights last week on that power play in overtime. Maybe because it was a 4-on-3. I don't know. Maybe he's not aligned. Is he not on a 4-on-3 power play, or what did you think there?
That's a That's a good question. I didn't think about that. Yeah. I think you're. Yeah. Yeah. You would think that, and I thought that was the game. I thought when the Golden Knights did convert that was probably it for them because that you got to take advantage of that situation. But yeah, Edmonton's starting to look like a team that they've looked like the past couple of years now. So I certainly wouldn't want to play them in the playoffs.
Well, that's the whole thing. And I mean, we were talking about how the Pacific has looked right now for the Oilers. And when you think about it, Mark, the path this year for even Vegas, because the Oilers haven't had a consistent performance for a long period of time this year. The path in the Pacific this year is as easy as it's ever been for some of these teams to get to the Final Four.
It is. I mean, if you look at just where the Golden Knights are right now, if they were in any other division, I think they I guess it'd be the wild card hunt, but they would. They would be in big trouble otherwise. Certainly if they were in the East. So, I think they're going to wind up holding on to that third spot at least. The rest of their schedules actually sets up really well for them. So, in fact, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if they make a run at the second seed. And I wouldn't be shocked if the Oilers overtake Anaheim for the top seed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could see that happening too. What's the overall health of the Golden Knights going into this stretch run? I guess William Karlsson's the big guy on IR.
Yes, they never put him on LTIR because they're hoping they kept holding out hope that he would get back. I think if he comes back, it probably wouldn't be till the playoffs. Stone, you just never know. Stone's healthy now, but it's just. You just never know when something's going to happen. Eichel hasn't played well since the Olympic break. Although he did play well this last game.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if there's something nagging him there. Carter Hart looks like he's coming back fairly soon.
Yeah.
So they're starting to get healthy. I mean, they've had injuries all season, but I don't know that it's out of the line compared to other NHL teams. I mean, it's just the nature of the sport. So, but I think they'll start getting a little bit healthier. I don't know that Karlsson's coming back. If he does come back, that obviously would be massive for them because not only for his playmaking abilities, but he's also such a good defender.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned Carter Hart. What's his status, Mark?
He's been back on the ice. So it's hard to know from the Golden Knights how soon that might necessarily be, but just the fact he's back skating again tells me that it's probably sooner than later. Then they have to make a decision. If he does come back, do you want to take 3 goaltenders into the playoffs? Yeah. I don't know. They were willing to go with 3 goaltenders in the regular season. So, but that was also under Cassidy, and with Tortorella coming in, he might have a different idea on that. So, but Hart wasn't playing well before he got hurt. I mean, he just wasn't. I think he was the third best goalie of the 3. But maybe, they signed him for a reason. So maybe there's something there that he can come back and do well, but he didn't look good when he played before.
Yeah. What was it like? Do you think it was just being rusty, not playing for a while, and he couldn't find his groove, couldn't find his game?
Yeah, I think that's mostly what it was. But you look at his career. I mean, I don't think he's quite lived up to what was expected anyway. So that may just be kind of where he is. He might be a little bit better than he's produced, but I don't know that he's going to be someone you can count on back there to make critical stops. So we'll see. I mean, they definitely need help, so maybe he can come back and play much better than he has so far.
What kind of game do you think we're going to see tonight with the Canucks in town?
I think you'll see a pretty emotional Golden Knights team. This is a game that they really need to go out there and play. Like their season's online, because in a lot of ways it is. These are the kind of games you got to take care of. They've had a fairly rough stretch of games, so now it should get a lot easier. But you know how that goes. Sometimes teams kind of lit up over the coaching change. I don't think that's going to happen.
Hey, Mark, thanks so much for your time this morning. Really appreciate it. Enjoy the game tonight and the stretch run. And who knows, maybe it'll be the Oilers and Vegas Golden Knights in round one of the playoffs. We'll see how it shakes down.
I would not be shocked.
Thanks a lot, Mark. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks everyone. Take care.
That's Mark Anderson from the Associated Press, covers the Vegas Golden Knights. When we come back, we're going to talk a little baseball with Jensen Lewis. By the books from VSiN Live. Tons to bust down as far as what's going on in Major League Baseball, and the Jays off to a great start. And they got a good schedule here with Colorado and the Chicago White Sox, the next two series that they will be going up against those two teams. And they're not, they're not the top of the heap, if you want to call it. So that's coming up right after the break. Jensen Lewis, By the Books, VSiN Live on the Kevin Karius Show with the Duke of Delburne and Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM Radio. Presented by Sports Select. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. We're the #1 dealer in the world. Just kidding. If we were, would you care? We're the #1 dealer in Canada. Still kidding. You probably still don't care. Tell you what you will care about, our March Madness sale going on right now. Discounts up to $30,000. And the grand opening of our Autoplex, a massive indoor showroom. No self-proclaimed titles, no iPads, no trips to Vegas or hockey jerseys, just a really good deal. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
At Fountain Tire, the savings come in threes. Up to 25% off select tires, a mail-in rebate of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires, and $50 off a $150 service. We're basically the BLT of savings until April 25th. Restrictions apply. Book today.
Wondering what you can afford? Let Go Auto do the math with our free car loan calculator. No pressure, no awkward convos, just quick answers on your budget and payments. Bad credit? No credit? We got you. Text CHECK to 780-777-7777. That's CHECK to 780 all 7. Find out what you qualify for and start shopping with confidence. Go Auto. Drive what you love with payments that make sense.
Summer, it's coming. An unstoppable force that will turn your home into the Sweatbox.
Don't live in a summer blockbuster. Pro Solutions is your one-call-solves-it-all expert for AC repairs, tune-ups, and new installations. With fast appointments and flexible financing, we'll make sure your home story has a comfortable ending. AC season is coming soon, so book today.
Lock in pre-season pricing today.
Visit prosolutionsinc.ca to schedule your service today.
A huge thank you
for making Sports 1440
the most listened to sports radio station in Edmonton. From Gregor to Karius
to Low Tide,
we've got in-depth analysis on all your favorite sports. We are
Sports 1440.
Yes, Alberta in March. Green beer and slushy roads. Where the only thing worse than the roads is trusting them. If your brakes are squealing louder than a pub on game night, or your shocks feel like they found potholes instead of a pot of gold, it's time to go to Napa Auto Parts. With over 85 locations in Alberta, Napa has the quality parts, tools, equipment, and know-how to keep your ride smooth and feeling confident. More than lucky. Visit your local store today or visit online at napacanada.com. That's Napa Know-How.
Whoa, I gotta put some money on the game tonight. We hit our monthly budget. Whoa, how did you get in here? I'm you, the responsible you. We're right. We'll play another time. Sounds more like us.
If you gamble, use your game sense. Visit GameSenseAB.ca.
stories, guests,
and insights.
This is Sports 1440 and the Kevin Karius Show.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 1021 in Edmonton, and time now for the game of the day, brought to you by St. Albert Dodge. The all-new 2026 Jeep Gladiator Sport packages are here. Got a great selection, so many colors to choose from. $49,900 gets you behind the wheel. A brand new Jeep Gladiator below $50,000. Check it out at stalbertdodge.com as we welcome back Jensen Lewis by the books and VSiN Live. Good morning, Jensen. You're with Kevin Karius. Thanks for jumping on Sports 1440. Big guy, really appreciate it.
Great to see you, buddy. Happy New Year. Things couldn't have gotten off to a better start from what it seems north of the border, my man.
No kidding. The Toronto Blue Jays. Hey, it's like a young Jensen Lewis on the hill, just mowing them down. 50 strikeouts here, Jensen. Wow.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, I have fond memories of then Skydome, where I had my first ever major league save back in 2008, and then the rest was downhill from there. But we won't talk about that. The only thing I think you could have asked more for is that if you didn't have to go into extra innings, for the Blue Jays offense, that might have been, the A++ effort there. But can't ask for much more. 3 wins, and really just an outstanding job, top to bottom, Kev, on this pitching staff. A hell of a debut for Dylan Cease. Don't know if you could have expected much more out of him with all the swing and miss and double-digit strikeouts. So life after Bo Bichette has done pretty well offensively. It feels like it's a well-oiled machine, picking right up where they left off in October last year.
Yeah. What did you think of Eric Lauer yesterday, Jensen?
For a guy, and Kev, I can't remember if we talked about it or not when the Jays were trying to figure out, the injury issues, of course, with Barrios and Bieber, and obviously later on with Savage. Eric Lauer, and for young players, I can understand, where you have a little bit of angst about, hey man, I feel like I've been looked over here. I feel like I've done enough to merit more than just a look for an opportunity. You just always got to kind of keep your head down and keep moving forward. You never know what circumstances will surface where they're going to call your number. And I think that's the case with Eric. An opportunity to run with it now, knowing that you are going to have the injuries, leaving a couple of those starting pitchers out for a decent amount of time. So here it is, big boy. Go after it. Show them what you can do, and make it as difficult a decision in the most positive way for John Schneider and then eventually this front office with Mark and Ross to say, yeah, we don't need your services here at the big league level. Like that's what you want to do. You want to make that problem so difficult in the best way for a front office to make that roster move.
Jensen Lewis with us on the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440. What can you tell our listeners about Cody Ponce, who's going to get the ball tonight against Colorado, Jensen?
I think what's unique is that it will be that first time, and anytime you come over, from the KBO, that in and of itself is a different echelon offensively, from where you're going to face the hitters that you'll have here at the big league level. Now, for a guy who is not young, he's going to be 32 this year. We're not worried about, maybe necessarily the jitters. I think the adrenaline more than anything. Can he compartmentalize stuff that's going to be really good? It couldn't have worked out better because the Rockies had all kinds of issues getting out of Miami last night. I believe they landed right around 2:00 this morning local time, got into the hotel around 3:30. So if you see them rubbing their eyes, they're still trying to wake up. Hey man, pound the zone. Do not let them kind of feel a resurgence of energy. So I think you're getting a strike thrower. You're getting a guy with some electric stuff. So excited to see what he's got in store tonight.
Speaking of pounding the zone, let's discuss the ABS and what you thought about the first weekend of baseball with the new system in place, and what you thought of it, Jensen.
Yeah, really, really intriguing stuff here. And so if you just want to kind of go by the numbers overall, it looks like 54% of calls ended up being successfully overturned out of 175 attempts. So about 54%, a little over half. Batters were 42% of those, and then fielders. So we'll put fielders with pitchers and catchers there because those are the only other two that can initiate those. End up being 63% of them. I think more notably, and Kevin, this is something as we visit throughout the year, when you get those individual umpire names that are not only having the most amount of challenges against them, but the percentage of the overturns. And I think that's the numbers, or at least the set of numbers that I look at early. I think it's Chad Whitman, who has had 7 challenges, and all 7 of those calls have been overturned. CB Buckner, 8 challenges, 6 of them, including the back-to-backs from Eugenio Suarez over the weekend. I think just the demonstrative nature of how it was almost felt personal, Kev, the second time when he was like, I mean, come on, man, really? And then yesterday we get our first ejection with an ABS issue attached to it. Derek Shelton and the Minnesota Twins, 10 challenges, Kevin, in that Twins and Orioles game yesterday, 7 overturns. So it's about getting the call right. You and I have discussed this before. I think at least to take a small sample of the first week or the first 3 to 4 games, the system is working.
Mm-hmm.
Where will we be at the end of April, early May? I think that'll be the first time I really sink my teeth into, is it, more an indictment on the umpires really aren't getting the majority of calls right? Is this now a strategy of you don't want to use challenges early, we'd rather save them for later? I mean, you've looked at Atlanta Braves games where they've been out of challenges within like the first 2 innings. So I think it's a unique part of our evaluation here, Kevin. What will make more sense? What will be the strategy moving forward? And ultimately, will there be some umpires who stick out more so than others, maybe in a negative light of not getting the majority of their calls right?
Yeah. So Jensen, with Shelton getting tossed, so that was just basically because he felt that there was too long of a delay for the challenge.
That's what it looked like. And kind of watching it, I was actually watching it in real time, Kevin. It was a great game there towards the end.
Yeah.
So as I thought I saw Helsley immediately kind of go like, oh no, I thought it was there. And then he went right back to it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering if Shelty saw the second one and that was enough elapsed time where he was upset about it. So if you look at the replay, from low home and kind of see where the initial touch of the hat was, I thought it was almost instantaneous, or at least within a second, within the boundaries of the rule. So we'll find more instances, I think, moving forward of things that are a little bit hairy there. But ultimately, I think the right call was made, and it was a huge overturn at that point to get that strikeout. So it really changed the complexion of how that inning went.
Jensen Lewis with us on the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440. I see you got your Cleveland gear on. Chase DeLauder, what a start. I mean, we didn't see him, we saw him in the playoffs, and this guy, if he can continue even remotely what he's done so far in the first weekend, man, they got a good one in this guy.
Build the statue now. It's you can't ask for a better start, I think, individually. And you said it, to make your major league debut in a winner-take-all game last year in Game 3 of that wild card series against the Tigers. I mean, you're asking a lot of a young 20-something kid, and there was a lot to like about where his AAA season had ended up before the call-up and then through spring training. I think there was a lot of optimism. It's been about the health for him, Kevin, is that he's had these injuries the last handful of years that have really derailed what has been an impressive minor league tenure to this point. So I'm not saying he's going to go out and hit 50 bombs. I know he's on pace for like 600 right now, but it's more of the process. It's more watching. Yeah, take for instance the opposite field home run in extra innings against Andres Munoz. I mean, that is a world-class swing and result going the opposite way off one of the best relievers in our game. So you take that for what it's worth. The league will eventually adjust. It always does.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's a matter of how does the young player adjust back? Will there be sustained droughts? Will it be quick? And he'll be able to kind of make those necessary steps on his own. But I mean, there is a lot of optimism here in Cleveland about what he could potentially do in front of Jose Ramirez this year.
Yeah, for sure. Did he work on his swing? Something in particular in Arizona? I think I was reading something about that in the off season here.
It just making minor adjustments, but also some plate discipline was there. And anytime you look at young hitters and the necessary tweaks to kind of quote unquote finish them off and be ready and polished to hit the ground running at the big league level, I think for him is, again, his swing is so unique, right? It's an unorthodox follow through for some people who are used to seeing left-handed swings, especially, be just silky smooth. I mean, you guys remember the days of John Olerud. It was like, oh man, it's a symphony watching him just come through nice and easy. And Chase, ironically, his first name goes along with a comp that I think many of us looked at Chase Utley. And remember, Chase Utley's swing was very compact, but it didn't necessarily have that entire follow through that we're used to seeing from power hitters. So if he continues to have, not a long loop, if he continues to stay short and quick to it, he really minimizes chances for error or being able to be exploited with some holes there. So I'm anxious on the scouting report side moving forward, Kevin. When we get into June and through the first half of the season, what is the book on him? How do guys want to attack him? The other part that's crazy good in his favor, you're hitting in front of arguably one of the most dangerous hitters in all of Major League Baseball. You're going to get pitches to hit, pal. Be ready, because no one's pitching around you to get to Jose Ramirez. That I can tell you.
Does he have a little Bellinger in his swing, do you think?
I hadn't thought about that swing, but now that you kind of illuminate that, I can see kind of more the upright nature. The
Yeah.
follow through is definitely more unique to an Utley than I think to a Bellinger. But if he has belly pop, then we're talking MVP stuff. So Kev, I like where your head's at, man. Let's see what the youngster can do.
Exactly. Jensen Lewis with us on Sports 1440. Owen Casey, Canadian.
Wow.
Had such a great World Baseball Classic, didn't he? And he gets the home run. And what do you think the limit is for this Canadian player, Jensen?
Hard to put a limit on what he can do. And I think that was the impetus too of when you look at where Peter Bendix was offloading a really solid asset there in Miami with Edward Cabrera. Yes, Cabrera had issues with control and he's got a high upside arm, high 90s tank, but I think it was on paper a win-win. The Cubs were looking for rotation depth and more upside, and they were able to deal from an area of strength. If you think about the pathway in that Cubs outfield for Casey to play, not really there with Seiya Suzuki and right, and Pico Armstrong signing the extension now. He'll be the center fielder for years to come. And then just the platoon advantages that Craig Counsell could go with in Chicago there in left field. So the road was blocked. It's not going to be blocked in South Beach, and anxious to see what this kid can do. He has the motor and he's got the moxie already. And you guys saw it with Team Canada in the World Baseball Classic. Not afraid of the moment, has the right temperament, has the right heartbeat. You can see where the big time pop can get that. I mean, he hits the ball hard, man. He hits it hard. And I think that will really escalate his ability in big time spots, as you just saw yesterday with the walk-off homer, to slow the game down and to be able to execute in those spots already ahead of the game.
Yeah, and again, as you say, he hits the ball hard, and he's just got that natural power, it seems, and the natural power and natural ability to hit the ball hard.
That's the other part, too, in our game. When we look at the exit velos, and I don't know for our analytics crowd, they all love it. Oh, he's hitting 110, 112 miles an hour. It's about the regularity of it, and that's where I think it's vastly in his favor. And it is when he makes contact, it is hard a lot. There's not a lot of weak contact with Owen Casey. So again, very much in our conversation about Chase DeLauder, how will the league adjust eventually? And I mean, you're playing in a real tough division there. A lot of great left-handed pitching that he's going to face. If he's able to overcome that quick hurdle of doing it against the best, Clayton McCullough is going to have a hard time taking him out of the lineup, if not moving him farther up, to help be able to drive in guys like Jacob Marcy and Xavier Edwards, Agustin Ramirez, things of that nature.
You were mentioning with Chase DeLauder, and it's about health. Another player that falls into that category for sure is Mike Trout. Does he look different to you? He looks really, really good. He looks like the bat speed is through the roof. Everything looks good with this guy. If he can stay healthy, man. Wow.
He looks like on a snowy night in April of 2012, Kevin, a young Jensen Lewis in a Reno Aces uniform faced an up-and-comer in Mike Trout in a Salt Lake City Bees uniform. I think it was a 12-pitch at bat. I think I struck him out, and I don't think he was there the next day. I think he got called up, and we know the rest is history after that. Yeah, the health, again, for a guy that has meant not only so much to his organization, but to baseball. If it is anywhere close, Kevin, and I really hope it is, because it would be great for baseball. And Mike Trout's right. That's a great thing for the game. And what a start for him. I mean, even the start for the top of that Angels order was what Zach Neto's done so far, Nolan Shonowell. Joe Adell was the big breakout candidate for them last year. You've been praying as an Angels fan for any continuity health-wise. And usually that's been in the rotation where you've had so many injuries. You've obviously had the issues with star position players too. But if they're back, then that means that Mike Trout is doing his thing. And what a boost that would be for Southern California, and especially there watching him at Angel Stadium.
Yeah. What do you think happens at the closer position in LA? How's that going to sort itself out? And like when he gets back, I would assume that Ben Joyce goes into that closer role, no?
They would have a great problem there because it was part of Perry Benazian's idea of getting a lot of veteran arms back there. Remember, it was Kirby Yates, and I know he's still working his way back a little bit from some knee inflammation. Drew Pomerantz, remember, was leverage relieving for the Cubs last year, has had some closing experience. Our old friend there from north of the border, Jordan Romano, has looked every bit of the dominant self from years past. Even in stretches last year with Philadelphia, there were some really good times there. Good problem to have for Kurt Suzuki. If you can, find a guy that you trust, and if it's Romano's to lose, then if I'm Jordan, let's go, man. Let's absolutely go for it. To shorten the game, you're only going to help out that starting staff, which, you got some youngsters there, and Jack Ahanowitz and Ryan Johnson, the two righties there at the end of the rotation. I would imagine, Kevin, without having any internal knowledge, that if you get Joyce back and Yates back at the same time, and Romano is going, the way that he's going, he doesn't have to be as dominant as he's been out of the chute. That'd be great. But that's a great problem to have, and figuring out who your 7, 8, and 9 is going to be. It may just be picking names out of a hat at that point.
Yeah. One last one for you, Jensen. Just on the docket tonight, is there a game that you're looking forward to watching tonight? Maybe it's Cleveland and the Dodgers.
I'll tell you what, it'll be a good one. That's going to be past my bedtime with my weekly mornings here. But I'll tell you, you mentioned Owen Casey and the Marlins. First 3-0 start for them since 2009. I know they'd missed the playoffs that year, but again, this was a team that when you looked at their pitching, they felt like they were going to have a chance to win every series with the depth in the rotation, getting Fairbanks in the back end to be their closer. I'm interested to see if the White Sox can bounce back after giving up 29 runs to the Brewers. Looking to see what the Reds can do against the Pirates here. That Giants and Padres game, if you're looking to play an under, that might be it. The Giants have scored 1 run, albeit it was the Yankees. Not like you're getting a breath of fresh air facing the Padres staff at the back end of their bullpen. Yeah. So, boy, what a tough start for Tony Vitello and crew. They just might need a day to go out and everyone try and hit some homers and BP just to feel good about yourself. Mm-hmm. So those are two, I would say, White Sox, Marlins under 8, Giants, Padres under 8.5. I think 2 lower scoring affairs tonight.
Good stuff, Jensen. As always, really appreciate your time. Take care, and we'll talk soon.
Likewise. Thanks, Kev.
That's Jensen Lewis, by the books, VSiN Live. You hear just some of his picks there. A couple of unders, Giants and Padres. And again, Vitello, the rookie manager there in San Fran, this is a guy that, came out of college and right to the major leagues. It's not going to be an easy start for a guy like that, for sure. That was our game of the day, brought to you by St. Albert Dodge, where the Jeep Gladiator sport packages are here. Check them out at stalbertdodge.com. When we come back, we'll get to some of your texts, 833-401-1440. It's Kevin Karius Show with the Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM Radio, presented by Sports Select. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
One app, triple the action. Play Alberta is proof that good things do come in threes. Whether you're into playing any of our exciting casino games, betting on your favorite professional sports teams from around the world, or buying into Canada's biggest lottery, Play Alberta is the province's only app to do it all. Download today and discover a new way to play.
Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Mr. Rooter kinda speaks French. Je m'appelle Monsieur Rooter. Je suis plombier.
Très bien, Mr. Rooter. Your name is Mr. Rooter, and you are in fact a plombier. A plumber. You are an excellent student.
Au contraire, mon frère. Je suis un excellent étudiant. Also, I'm not here for a French lesson. I'm here because someone clogged up the toilets.
Oui. Right this way.
For a plumber who speaks your language, call Mr. Rooter.
At Fountain Tire, the savings come in threes. Up to 25% off select tires, a mail-in rebate of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires, and $50 off $150 service. We're basically the BLT of savings. Until April 25th. Restrictions apply. Book today.
Getting your vehicle sparkling clean doesn't have to cost a fortune. Take it into Hughes today and pay just loonies a wash.
Find us at HughesCarWash.com.
Legacy Heating and Cooling offers no payments and no interest for 1 year on your new furnace. So, when you wake up to no heat, call Legacy. Call Legacy. If you need it immediately with no overtime rates. If you need it immediately and want to combo it with AC. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. No payments and no interest for 1 year on your new furnace. It could only be Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Who's that working on the underground utilities over there? All-Star Construction, that's who. What about the street lighting? Yep, All-Star Construction.
And the directional drilling, hydrovacing, neighborhood renewal, and telecommunication work? Yep. Since 2009, All-Star Construction has been doing all that and more, shaping and building Edmonton communities for land developers all around Edmonton. That's what All-Star Construction is all about.
This jersey was worn by the legend himself, signed and everything. You can't just wear it. I'm framing it with expressions and images.
Your prized jersey deserves better than the closet. Think Expressions and Images, your local custom framer since 91. You name it, we frame it.
From the locker room to your radio, Sports 1440 is Edmonton's sports leader. Real talk, big personalities, and your texts. It's interactive. It's fun. It's where Edmonton talks sports. Sports 1440.
NHL Star Sticks are back at McDonald's, and we're celebrating by going bigger.
Make that smaller, way smaller than ever before.
Collect the set and get one of 7 mini sticks with every NHL Star Sticks meal. Featuring McDavid, Matthews, Quinn Hughes, Makar, Celebrini, Reinhardt, and Montembeau. So get yours while they last. 1 stick per meal purchase. Limited time at participating Canadian restaurants.
Fast track your financial goals with a special rate term deposit from Vision Credit Union. For a limited time, take advantage of a great rate on 1, 3, or 5-year terms. Plus, as a Vision Credit Union member, you can earn up to 25% more on your interest through profit shares. For details, contact your branch today or visit visioncu.ca. That's visioncu.ca.
Why should you drive a Subaru? How about durability, style, and an excellent customer experience from the moment you step into the showroom? And how about accolades, including awards for numerous 2026 Subaru models from both AutoTrader and JD Power? But don't just take my word for it. Take a test drive and you'll see why the Subaru name is recognized and renowned for quality. To learn more, visit Subaru.ca. Welcome to Uncommon. Welcome to Subaru.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 1045 in Edmonton. The Kevin Karius Show is presented by Sports Select. If you'd like to sprinkle a few hockey games tonight, well, you got 5 games on the docket. Big one between the Penguins and the Islanders. Oilers keeping an eye on the Maple Leafs and Ducks for 8:07 start. Also Vancouver in Vegas. Check it out at sportselect.com. You got to be 18 plus. Please play responsibly. Duke, are you going to be doing a little sprinkling tonight?
I'm going to take the over and penalty minutes in the Maple Leafs Ducks game.
What do you think happens
Radko
there?
Gudas status.
Do you think
it's up in the air?
Not, yeah.
I think they just won't play him.
Well, don't you think so then Toronto goes after someone else, right?
We can try.
Who would they go after? Seneca?
Maybe. I think that would be a strong candidate for
Gauthier?
sure. Yep.
I don't know. Something's going to have to happen, though. And it's too bad that Gudas isn't. What's he got anyway?
He got banged up going back to when they played Calgary. Right? We talked about it with Zach Kavanaugh on Friday. So, it's just his status is still a little up in the air. The Ducks are obviously just finishing a road trip that they were on this side of the border for. So, first game back at home, and it's once again, I'm kind of still in the line of thinking, Kevin, that I'm like they're not worse without him in the lineup.
Better with him out of the lineup.
I think that's the case. Now, he's still the captain of the team.
Yeah.
He obviously still has a lot of value in other elements, primarily the physicality, and kind of he brings a ruggedness that they lack at times. I mean, you still got Trouba back there. Carlson is a skill player for sure from a defensive standpoint. You have guys that you rotate in up front that have some sandpaper. Jansen Harkins, Ross Johnston, Jeffrey Viel, who had a dandy of an assist in that Oilers game on Saturday. But this is a skill team. They have a little bit of sandpaper, but nobody that they're going to be inserting with the exclusive purpose of being a deterrent tonight, unless I'm not sure if Ross Johnston is healthy to do it or not, but he would be the guy.
Yeah. Hey, who's the next captain of this team when Gudas leaves? I think a lot of people might have said a year or two ago, Mason
McTavish, yeah, but
not anymore.
With this season, I think maybe he still wears an A when he's playing. If it were up to me, just as somebody that watches them on a game-to-game basis and impact on the line, I think it should be Troy Terry.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure it will be. I could see them maybe going in the direction of
one of the young bucks,
one of the very young guys. And Troy Terry's no graybeard, but on the team like this, he's one of the more veteran players. And he's been around for a lot of years now.
What about Leo Carlson? He wears
that kind of seems like one of the names that really jumps out for sure. Is a guy like Carlson.
I don't know what kind of leadership abilities. Maybe it's Jackson Lacombe, Duke.
Yeah, it's a fair counter for sure.
He wears an A2, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Or does he?
Yeah, he does.
So I don't know. I mean, you never would they want to re-sign Trouba? What's Trouba going to get? Maybe they go that route too.
I think they'd be interested in bringing Trouba back, but I'm not sure they would give him the C this time around. Like I say, he doesn't even wear a letter because they know he's a leader. When you and I have talked about this, and everyone does. You don't need a letter on your jersey to be a leader in the locker room, right? It's not some written rule that unless you have an A or a C, shut the hell up, don't say anything. He's one of the most experienced guys on the team, and he is on a lot of it. And different playing in Winnipeg in the Canadian market, out in New York. This is a guy that probably really relishes a little bit more of a low key environment, I think, in Anaheim. And I think they should be interested in bringing him back because he's still a capable top 4 defenseman. Price tag will be a lot lower, which will be good because they got a lot of guys they got to pay now.
BC Oilers says maybe the Leafs will just send someone after Duke.
I'm ready. I can take it.
I don't know, Duke. You see, again, you've had another hard weekend. You're glad the month of March is over. You're going right to the fart sack for an afternoon nap.
I think so. Well, I got to have a little bite to eat first. Maybe I'll go cook a piece of salmon in the local gas station microwave since it's my right because I put gas in my car.
MTR says 2-pack on a Monday morning. That was the last break there, Duke, right? Right before 2-pack?
2-pack.
2-pack?
Yeah.
2-pack? 2-pack. 833-401-1440. Real Duke says, good morning, team. Regarding Torts, hope he wears a jacket/tie versus the guy at the Vegas muffler and brake service counter. What am I missing here?
Well, because Tortorella, when he was in Philly, he started just wearing a sweater.
Right.
Instead of the full suit and tie, which is kind of the standard for a head coach behind the bench.
So he would wear
he would wear a cardigan.
Yeah.
I think he would still have maybe he didn't wear a tie all the time, but I'm pretty sure he had a tie on a lot underneath the little sweater.
I think he did too.
But he wouldn't wear a suit jacket, right? He would just wear a sweater instead.
Canada's defeating Poland 7-2 at the World Curling Championship in Utah. Matt Dunstone. The Poles just gave up a steal of 3 in the 6th end, so that's where things got a little out of hand here for Poland. So 7-2 Canada. What are they, 2-2, Duke?
Yes, they lost 2 in a row coming into this, so they started stronger over.
They got pounded by the States yesterday, right? Was that Schuster? So I would imagine, in a nice rebound game, Poland not at the top of the heap here when it comes to curling worldwide. Have you watched any of the World?
No, it's fleeting. Just when it was on in the lobby at the rink, and I'd be in and out of there. That was about as much as I saw. I really watched very little of anything over the weekend, Kev. I caught the 3rd period of the Ducks and Oilers game in real time after the funeral when we went back to Buddy's house where I was staying in town for the weekend just to take my suit off, change, and then we had to play at 4:00. So it was a pretty quick turnaround there. Other than that, and then obviously, as I mentioned earlier in the show, that I caught the last few minutes of the Yukon Duke game inside the Donaire shop waiting for my order in Red Deer yesterday, just coming through. I need a little sustenance here. to recover from my weekend's exploits. But no, it was a little bit of just a turned off weekend for me.
Yeah. Watched the tail end of the Texas Children's Houston Open. Gary Woodland won it.
Yeah.
Very emotional.
Very. And then I don't know if you caught his interview afterwards as well to kind of go with it, because he's for those that don't know, he's had brain surgery and things like this that have, held him back. And he just kind of talked about getting to continue to pursue his dream. And you could see the look skyward after winning yesterday, that it kind of was all coming full circle for him. And as you said, pretty emotional and a real feel-good story out of the weekend, no doubt.
And, the Canadian, Sudarshan Yalamarahu, T6 Duke.
Wow.
13 under.
Is this the same guy?
Same guy, yeah. A guy that never took a
Winnipeg
lesson.
guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he was there when he was quite young, then went out to Ontario. But he turned pro at 19, never went to college, never took a lesson, doesn't have a coach. And he is playing quite well. So he, when you think of his earlier success this year, so now he's a T6. I don't know. I wonder if he has an invite to the Masters, Duke. I don't think he does. But it would be kind of cool to see him there. Have to check on that one. But Gary Woodland wins it quite easily. He shot 64, 63, 65, and 67. Starting next week, it's the Masters, and we're going to have golfing with the G-Man. Gary Meyer is going to be back with us on Fridays from 10 to 11. So excited to talk about that. Billy says, I saw a stat that Troy Terry hadn't had a hit in the stat page in 52 games. Is that true, Duke?
I believe it is.
Wow. MTR says he's happy about not getting any fantasy stats for Cease and Mizorowski. Well, too bad. You know the rules, MTR. We start today in our fantasy frenzy, right?
A good weekend of scouting to do for your own team and the free agent pool. Hey, you don't think I would have liked to have Chase DeLauder 4 home runs and stuff on the board? Like those are the only 4 home runs I think my entire team had in the first few days of the season. So lots of room for improvement for Team Fantasy Frenzy.
So do you have any starters going today, Duke?
Good question. I'm not sure.
I don't know if I do either.
I've already been offered. There's already a trade pending. I have to review it today. And then I also already been offered a trade by Playbook Vic. He's, I believe, the most active trader in the history of fantasy sports. The guy took 8 pitchers out of his first 9 picks, and now he's offered me a trade for Logan Gilbert.
How about that pick, Lucas Ursig, now the closer? Picked him up, Duke.
Pretty sharp.
Yeah.
Pretty sharp, Kev.
I better put him in the lineup.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know for
Got to get your lineup set.
Yeah. Coming up at the top of the hour, it is Fantasy Frenzy with
the former Rochep T-Bird,
Connor Halley and the Duke of Delburne, 12 till 2. It's the low tide, low down with low tide till 2. Jason Greger drives us home from 2 to 6. We got Fox Sports all night long. We're back with you tomorrow morning at 7 bells. Before all that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Sean Cunningham of Remax Real Estate. Get the home team advantage for your next move in the Edmonton area. If you are thinking about buying or selling a home, call or text Sean directly, 780-265-0165. Hey, thanks everyone for listening this morning. Really appreciate it. Thanks for all your texts and thanks for your insight and your interaction. We could not do it without you. Hope you have a great rest of a Monday. We'll see you back tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock. Until then, here is the Duke.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Handful of games in the NHL tonight, starting off with the Islanders hosting Pittsburgh. Calgary's in Colorado. Canucks taking on the Golden Knights. It'll be John Tortorella's debut behind the Golden Knights bench after he took over for Bruce Cassidy yesterday. Anaheim hosting Toronto, and the St. Louis Blues look to keep their playoff hopes alive when they take on the Sharks from San Jose. In the association, 8 games total, including Atlanta hosting Boston. The Sixers are in Miami. San Antonio taking on Chicago. Cleveland in Utah. OKC playing the Pistons, and the Lakers at home for the nightcap. Washington Wizards in SoCal. In the majors, another full slate today, including the Toronto Blue Jays opening a set against the Colorado Rockies from Rogers Center. First pitch just after 5 o'clock. Cody Ponce will make his debut on the bump for the Bluebirds. Elsewhere, Orioles hosting Texas. Washington is in Philly. Cubbies taking on the Angels from Wrigley. Milwaukee up against Tampa Bay. Boston's in Houston. Seattle hosting the Yankees. And the LA Dodgers take on the Cleveland Guardians. Coming up on Sports 1440, it is Fantasy Frenzy with Hallie and Douglas. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. We're the #1 dealer in the world. Just kidding. If we were, would you care? We're the #1 dealer in Canada. Still kidding. You probably still don't care. Tell you what you will care about, our March Madness sale going on right now. Discounts up to $30,000. And the grand opening of our Autoplex, a massive indoor showroom. No self-proclaimed titles, no iPads, no trips to Vegas or hockey jerseys, just a